Engines on. 5, 4, 3,
And good evening from ALMA Memorial Stadium on the campus of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. It's Gulf Coast football. Tonight, the 2-0 Bulldogs, ranked number 4 in the nation, hosting the number 6 Hinds Eagles. It's the MACJC South Division opener for both teams. And if we have a game like anything like we had last year, this will be a shootout. With me, as always, Jimmy Davis. And Jimmy, you remember that game last year? We were up 28-0. All of a sudden, hanging on for dear life and winning the game 35-26. Of course, it's a new year, new teams, but Hinds has a lot of those guys back, so I expect some more fireworks tonight. What are your thoughts as we open the home part of the 2012 schedule?
Well, I'm glad we didn't have to drive north of Jackson. That's
and that's true. I should have thought of that right off the bat.
But a much more veteran team in Hinds tonight, and talking to Coach Campbell, he's a little concerned, not that our freshmen can't handle their jobs tonight, it's that they have a lot of experience. You don't get ranked number 6 just being a ball club in the National Junior College Association. So they are a good ball team. We expect a good ball game tonight. He thinks he's got to do a few things a little different tonight, but all in all, he feels good if the kids will keep playing the way they have been.
Yeah, and they've played well, of course, hammering Cahoma up there 64-14, and last week beating Holmes 42-16. So the young guys off to a good start. We'll see how they fare against this veteran Hinds team. Hinds beat Cahoma and Mississippi Delta. And the interesting thing tonight, seeing Hinds, Anthony D'Angelo, the quarterback from our neck of the woods from Long Beach, Mississippi, he went up to Scuba, was going to play football, then came back here to Gulf Coast, played golf last year as a freshman, and now is at Hinds doing what he likes to do, playing quarterback. Of course, his brother Mickey played at Southern, Robbie played at Southern, so the D'Angelos have been a staple as far as coast athletics, and he gets to show off in front of the home folks tonight, and he did really well coming off the bench last week for Hinds.
Well, he won the ball game for him.
Yeah.
So, you know, he comes in, I think he throws 2 touchdown passes and allows them to win the ball game. I spoke to him a few minutes ago when I was out on the field, and you know, after watching him play in high school, he seems to me he's a little taller. He's grown a little taller.
Yeah.
And he's just, you know, looking at him and Clint Hatton, they're about the same size.
Yeah.
Now, they may, you know, Clint might be a little taller than him, but, you know, this kid's got a good arm. He really does. You know, and he comes from a football family.
Right.
You know, his dad coached football forever and played ball. His grandfather was on the board here, and years ago my daddy told me how great an athlete that his grandpa was. So he comes from some real good stock. So the kid ought to do well tonight. You know, get a little nervous. No, he got butterflies. He's playing here. This is his home turf down here. So
It is.
And he's going against a team that he knows is going to come after him.
Yeah, and they are, I'm sure, going to come after him tonight, trying to make that homecoming a not-so-good one. Well, we talked about Coach Steve Campbell a few minutes ago. As you see the band of gold on the field getting ready in pregame festivities. We talked to Coach Campbell earlier this week, and he shared his concerns and thoughts about tonight's game. Here's Coach Campbell's interview, and after that, we'll hear from Mike Frazier with his JUCO Weekly Report.
This is a big football game because it's the next game, and Hinds has an outstanding football team. A lot of speed on both sides of the football, and they're very physical on defense. They've come out of the gate strong and won their 2 first games by big margins, and they've got a lot of talent and well-coached football team, so we'll need to play well in order to be successful this week. You know, it's a big test. Hinds has a great football team, and they're playing well right now and seem to be hitting full stride right now, but I love the way our guys have gotten better each and every week, and I love the way that we've come out of the gate strong, and we need to keep that going and just keep continuing to get better each week and play to the best of our ability. And it's all going to come down to turnovers, who protects the football and who can make the other team turn the football over, and then explosive plays, who can create the explosive plays on offense and limit the other team's explosive plays. We both got a lot of speed on offense. They've got great receivers and great backs, and we feel like we really do too. So it gets down to what all football games come down to, which is turnovers and explosive plays. It's just great to come back to the friendly confines of A.L. May Memorial Stadium. It's good to get a home game. We've been on the road for the last couple of weeks, so it'll be great to play in front of the home crowd.
All over the South, marching bands are tuning up and gearing up to go for the gold at the 13th Annual Gold Medal Classic hosted by Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. On Saturday, October 6th, A.L. May Memorial Stadium comes alive with the South's premier marching band festival and competition. Trophies in 8 different categories are up for grabs, including the coveted Overall Spirit Award. So come join us at Gulf Coast October 6th as we strike up the band at the Gold Medal Classic.
I'm Mike Fraser with an MGCCC football report brought to you by JUCOweekly.org, your one source for Mississippi Junior College scores, stats, news, photos, videos, and podcasts. Log on to JUCOweekly.org. The latest NJCAA football poll has been released, and East Mississippi hanging tough at number 1 overall in the country. 2-0 on the young season, 8 first-place votes to keep them at the top of the pack. Mississippi Gulf Coast stays steady at number 4. They're 2-0 on the young season. Hinds, number 6. Though the Eagles win last week, they fall one notch from number 5 to number 6. Northwest opens the season last week at Colin, a winner. Remember, they were rained out due to Isaac. The win at Colin bumps them up from a preseason rank of number 12 to number 10 overall in the nation. And Itawamba, the Indians out of Fulton, crashed the party at number 20 as they are 2-0 on the young season after their win over Southwest last week. Players of the week for Week 2 have been named by the MACJC and JUCOweekly.org, with Northeast Mississippi Community College quarterback Matt Lippum, Itawamba Community College linebacker Derek Gilden, and Jones County Junior College defensive back Jarrett Smith receiving the league's weekly award. Let's look at some of the numbers. Northeast freshman quarterback out of Slidell, Louisiana. Lippum finished the win over Jones on the road last Saturday night, 24 of 42 for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns. Itawamba sophomore linebacker out of Arlington, Texas, Derek Gilden, finished the game against Southwest with 11 tackles and a 62-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown in the victory. And Jones County Junior College defensive back Jarrett Smith had a terrific night as well. Had 2 kickoff returns totaling 135 yards, including an impressive 100-yard kickoff return for touchdown in the game against Northeast last Saturday night down at Jones County. Some money games in the league tonight. Number 1 East Mississippi travels down to Summit to take on the Southwest Bears. A heavyweight battle down in Perkinston. Number 6 Hinds at number 4 Mississippi Gulf Coast. Folks, this game will have major implications on the MACJC South Division as well as on the national scene, as these 2 top 6 teams in the country battle in Perkinston. Coahoma visits number 10 Northwest. East Central visits Colin. Jones County Junior College is at Pearl River. Number 20 Itawamba travels to Moorhead to face Mississippi Delta. And Northeast is at Holmes. That game played at Madison Central High School in the Jackson area. Our JUCOweekly.org game of the week this week pits Ricky Smithers' Northeast Tigers against Jeff Kuhn's Holmes Bulldogs, as this football game is being played at Madison Central High School in the Jackson area. For scores, stats, news, photos, videos, and podcasts,
Memorial Stadium, as we heard from head coach Steve Campbell and also Mike Fraser's JUCO Weekly report on many of the games going on around junior college in Mississippi. East Central is at Colin, Northeast at Holmes, some of the other ones going on. Itawamba at Delta, Coahoma at Northwest, and Jones at Pearl River, and East Mississippi with Southwest. And as we said at the beginning of the show, The Bulldogs come in at number 4 in the nation, while Hinds is now at number 6. You know, Hinds won last week in that top 10 poll, and they actually dropped a spot, Jimmy. It's pretty bizarre that, you know, you win a game, you're 2-0, but yet you drop in the standings. But that's the way this poll goes, the top 10 poll. It's kind of strange.
Well, you know how it is. They look at competitors and they look how they've done, and it's really too early in the season to say that this team's not as strong as it is. So I don't think I could vote somebody down like that if they're winning football games.
Yeah. And just going over the rest of the poll, of course, East Mississippi, the defending national champs, still at number 1 in the nation. Butler at 2. Arizona Western is at 3. Gulf Coast at 4. Iowa Western is 5. As you see the Bulldogs coming onto the field, Gulf Coast in the Gold Rush uniforms, the all gold in the home opener. We're going to see that tonight. Hinds is in all white, and they have white helmets now. So it's kind of interesting. They got some different color combinations. And tomorrow night on Bulldog Blitz, we'll go over all the uniform packages of Gulf Coast. But getting back to that top 10 poll, Iowa Western at number 5, Hinds at 6, Navarro at 7, Eastern Arizona at 8, Blinn at 9, and Northwest comes in at number 10. So the NJCAA top 10 poll, it's always changing and always some fluctuations, but it depends on at the end of the season where you want to be. That's the main thing.
Well, we definitely know somebody's going to change tonight.
Oh yeah, and there you go, right there.
Somebody's either could a game like this, can Gulf Coast win, move up a spot or two. Hinds win could definitely move up a spot or two, or they lose and can move completely out. So it's a tough game both ways. As the game goes on, I got here a little early, had some time to talk to some of the coaches. Some interesting things that they've talked about from last week's game about what they've got to try to do tonight. And one of them is they've got to use all their running backs more. And he said last week,
if they can do that, because we've seen all of them so far, but you're right, if they can use them more, that's even better.
Well, he said, it's hard to get a lot of information. These guys got so much bottled up into them. Mm-hmm. But look to see JoJo carry the ball more tonight. He's one that they came out with and said they were impressed last week. They got to spell, James some, and it's just a tough thing that you don't want to put your best guy over here, but cramping was a problem in the third and fourth quarter for our first 2 backs, so you stick him out there and he takes it down the sideline. So that's one player they said look for to carry the ball more tonight.
Yeah, JoJo, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns so far this year for Gulf Coast, and those have been 2 big runs on touchdowns at Coahoma and at Holmes. Now, Hinds won the toss, and they will receive. They will be going from left to right, so Gulf Coast will kick off. So we'll see Hinds' offense right off the bat. And you know, Jimmy, I was talking to defensive coordinator Steve Davis yesterday, and he was telling me Hinds, their offense is just like it was last year. They kind of play it close to the vest, run on first and second down, pass on third, but they still have that big play capability. And we've seen it quite a bit this year with Hinds. Quadarius Leslie, their all-world wide receiver, he's been terrific so far this year. 4 catches, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 42 yards a catch. We talked about Anthony D'Angelo. He was 6 of 11 off the bench last week for 195 and 2 touchdowns. So they have a pretty potent offense. Darian Ragsdale and Jabari Baker, their running backs, both of them up over 200 yards already, and both have scored. You see, back deep for Hinds is Kowalski Tenner. Ready to kick it away is Stephen Broccoli for Gulf Coast, and we're ready for some JUCO football. Hinds and Gulf Coast, and we are underway from Perkinston. Tenner takes it at the goal line. Tenner to the 10, across the middle to the 15, and brought down right about at the 23-yard line, and that's where Hinds will take over, 1st and 10. We told you about Anthony D'Angelo. He is 6'2", 215 pounds from Long Beach, Mississippi. Featuring running backs this evening, Jabari Baker, the sophomore from Forest Hill. Baker has been solid this year, 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. We'll also see Darian Ragsdale, a 6-foot sophomore from Pelahatchie. 1st and 10, Holmes. Opening play of the game, D'Angelo at quarterback. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. And they throw out left, and on the little screen pass, the pass is caught by Quadarius Morales, and Morales takes it out to about the 30 before he's run out of bounds on the far side. If you remember Morales from last year, he hit a big play against Gulf Coast as Hinds made a big comeback in that game. He's fast, as we told you about Quantavious Leslie. So that's how Hinds operates. And Morales picked up 8 that time. It's 2nd and 2. D'Angelo on the keeper across the middle, got the first down. Across the 35, he is hammered. Ball is loose all the way back to the 30 and picked up by one of the Hinds linemen, Ronald Perry, the Eagles lineman.
Wow, what a hit.
Saved a disaster for Hinds, but how about that hit? D'Angelo had the first down, and he got plowed. The ball went backwards, and Perry recovered. So it'll be 1st and 10. Actually, I don't think he made it to the first down marker, so it's 3rd and 2. I thought he had gotten the first down, but he didn't, so it's 3rd and 2. Now first down marker, so it's 3rd and 2. I thought he had gotten the first down, but he didn't. Across the middle, got for Morales out in the flat, covered over there by Kenner Johnson. And that'll be a 3 and out right off the bat. So that big hit, a big momentum boost for the Bulldogs.
That
was
vicious. Green? I think that was
across the middle, got the first down. Across the 35, he is hammered. Ball is loose all the way. Can't wait to see that one.
You see on Sports Center.
It certainly is. So back to punt is Pate DeMuth. He's standing on his 16, and back to receive will be Josh Key standing on his 25. Big pressure up the middle, but DeMuth gets it away, and it's a beautiful punt. There's going to be a flag for roughing, I believe. Meanwhile, Keys takes the punt down to the 29, but we have our first flag of the game. Lots of pressure up the middle. I believe that was Nigel Green along with Elijah Hughes, and Coach Davis getting on Nigel about hitting the punter there, and that's probably going to be it's going to be first down either way because it was 4th and 2. So it's either going to be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. Let's see what the call is. So it's 3rd and 2. Now first down marker. So it's 3rd and 2. I thought he had gotten the first down, but he didn't. Cross for Hinds.
He showed.
I believe there was 2 penalties. Yeah, it is a first down. I don't know what the first one was, but the second one was running into the kicker.
Well, he called holding against Gulf Coast also, so holding against us. And what happened then was Green just got too close to him. He was on the ground, and he rolled up, and a punter knows, I've got to get on the ground. I've got to make it look good, so that's what he did.
That's when punters become thespians, and usually they get the benefit of the doubt in those cases. So after the penalty, it's 1st and 10, Hinds. The ball at the 35-yard line. Opening moments, no score here at Perkinston. Thanks for watching here on MGCCCBulldogs.com and listening on 103.1 FM WOSM. The first handoff of the game is not good for Hinds. Darian Ragsdale lost some yardage that time. Great penetration by the Bulldogs defense. Brandon Keel, Dawson Wells, and a host of others. Ragsdale went nowhere.
What a lick that time. These guys poured through. We had 2 or 3 of them coming through. As you said, Keel came kind of disrupt things on the inside, knocked him backwards. That's what you got to do. And talking as the game goes on, I'm going to tell you some things that Steve had to say about this defense. We've got to run against their offense.
Loss of 2, so it's 2nd and 12 from the 33. D'Angelo in the gun, 3 wideouts to the left, and now the little screen out of the backfield to Ragsdale's got some room out to the 40 and run out of bounds at the 45. Going to be very close to a Hinds first down. So they got a little wide running back screen set up, and Ragsdale shot through there, and the Eagles moved the chains. That's their first down of the game.
That's one of the things, Bill, he talked about, Steve Davis talked about. They're going to try to do bubble screens. They're going to try to do wide receiver screens, and that's what they did just then.
Yeah, it's very methodical, but they hit big plays on it. 1st and 10. Now D'Angelo with the ball on the keep just across midfield and into Gulf Coast territory. Yeah, I was looking at their board, the scouting report, and, you know, they run on first down most of the time. They run on second down. They'll pass on third. It's very milquetoast when you look at it on the board, but they hit big plays, and that's where the rubber meets the road, I guess you could say. 2nd and 6 after Anthony gained 4. Now that's the other running back, Jabari Baker, and off left tackle, Baker takes it out to the 46-yard line of Gulf Coast. So it'll be 3rd and about 2 coming up for Hinds. 12 minutes left, first quarter. No score here from Perkinston. The number 4 Bulldogs and the number 6 Eagles. From the 46, it's 3rd and 2. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. In the backfield is Baker. D'Angelo calling plays, takes the snap. He's got time, looking left. The pass is tipped and almost picked off. Great anticipation that time by Cavellis Luckett. Luckett, you remember in the Kahoma game, picked off a pass like that and took it the other way to the house. Instead, that time it's incomplete, brings up a 4th and 2, and once again, Hinds will go into punt formation. So aside from that penalty, Jimmy, the Bulldog defense has hung tough.
Yeah, that time D'Angelo showed where he was going to throw the ball. He looked it down, and he is very lucky that didn't go back 50 yards, pick 6.
Pate DeMuth on his own 40 to punt once again. He gets it away, no pressure. Hits inside the 10, and is it down? I think somebody was standing in the end zone. No, they down it inside the 5 at the 4. Great job by special teams of Hinds. So Gulf Coast is going to have to go a long way on their first drive of the game. It looked like when it was bouncing down there that somebody was standing in the end zone, but I guess not. Instead, the Eagles down it on the 3, so the Bulldogs are going to have to go 97 yards right off the bat.
Well, Chad says it depends on field position on what he'll do, and we certainly know what he'll do here. They got to get some playing room right here. He says, you know, of course, I always ask him, when are we going to go deep? How much are we going to go deep? He said, I can't tell you till I tell you where we're at on the field, see where the ball is.
So from the 3, Clint Hatton standing in the shadow of his own goalpost, fakes the handoff, throws over the middle, the slant to DeQuil Williams. There's some breathing room out to the 29-yard line, and a Bulldog first down, 26 yards right off the bat.
They were playing zone that time, and he hit the zone. He gets by the safety. He's gone. They will not catch him.
DeQuil was suspended last week, and of course in the first game, he scored on the very first play of the game. The very first offensive play for Gulf Coast here takes it 26 yards. 1st and 10 from the 32. Now they give up the middle to Byron Nettles. Nettles breaks one tackle, but he is swarmed over by the Hinds defense and may have lost a couple of yards. Leading the way for Hinds is Dontrell Hyman, the 6'4", 265 sophomore, and he's one of their better linemen. I understand that a lot of people are looking at him. It'll be 2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right for Gulf Coast. Hatton in the gun, fakes the handoff, some pressure. He avoids it. He goes deep. He's got Williams down there who makes a terrific catch at the 40, and DeQuil is gone again. 70 yards, touchdown Bulldogs. How about that adjustment?
There is no flag, single coverage. The ball was thrown where only he could catch it. Mismatch all the way around. I tell you, there's no substitute for speed and height, and it showed it right there.
So DeQuil Williams has caught 5 passes so far here at Gulf Coast. 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. That one, 70 yards, and the Bulldogs strike first on the 70-yard touchdown pass from Clint Hatton to DeQuil Williams.
Well, that was pretty.
It was. Stephen Broccoli on for the extra point. Zach Pinkerton to hold. Snap is down, kick is up, bobbled a little bit, and no good. There was some problems with Pinkerton holding the snap, but the Bulldogs draw first blood. Hatton to Williams, 70 yards. It's 6-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, that time the long snapper rolled it back there. So Pinkerton had a hard time grabbing it and getting it down. Then you could see that the timing was going to be off on the kick. I thought he hit it, but he didn't. It was far, pushed it a little bit far on the east side over there. So the Bulldogs up 6-0, and that was a huge, huge play. You know, that's like I said, I was talking to, when you talk to these coaches down there and they tell you, well, we got to do this, we got to make this work, but the running game's the big thing that we got to do. And I said, well, what about the deep ball and throwing to the big boy? And he said, well, if we can, we will. You see what happens out here right off the bat.
Yeah, they play it close to the vest. That was a nice scoring drive that time. 3 plays, I believe, is all it took. And it's 6-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, a pass, a run, and a pass. That was it, wasn't it?
It sure was. And once again, we appreciate you joining us here on MGCCC, Bulldogs.com. Also on 103.1 FM, WOSM. Hinds and Gulf Coast to battle for the MACJC South Division lead painfully early in the season. But every game counts, and this one certainly does in the standings. Gulf Coast has won 7 in a row against Hinds, looking for 8 in a row as Broccoli with the kickoff, and he kind of hooked it, and it goes out of bounds, so Hinds will get the ball in decent field position. I think Steven's a little tired. They played soccer last night. He played as Gulf Coast, the men defeated Jones 3-1, and he was very active in the middle of the field. Out here, he's a kicker. On the soccer team, he's kind of a hired goon like in hockey. And I mean that in a good way. He's very aggressive in the middle of the field. It's fun to watch.
Hinds going to get it to 35, so that one goes out of bounds. That's where they'll spot it, as they always do. 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
All right, so Hinds gets the ball again, now down 6-0. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left for D'Angelo. He fakes the handoff and throws it out to Morales, who's run out of bounds right at the 35. So they picked up maybe a half a yard. They tried to set up a screen over here. And what happens, they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until one of those breaks.
Well, it's great coverage that time. As you can see him coming in, his Keys went right at him, saw it coming in, played off his block, got him. I think D'Angelo bobbled the snap a little bit, and the pass was bobbled a little bit.
So 2nd and 10, officially no gain that time. 2 wideout split to the left, 2 to the right. The fake handoff, D'Angelo keeps it himself and runs right into Sherman Boyd, and that'll be a pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards. Check that for Gulf Coast. I believe that's Cortez Hartzog. It was Hartzog on the tackle. Hartzog and Boyd. Boyd's in the middle, number 54. Boyd is the nose guard. Hartzog is playing D-end in the 3-3 defense. He picked up 2 that time officially, so it's 3rd and 8 from the 37. 9:30 to go, first quarter. Gulf Coast leading 6-0. D'Angelo now with 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. He's back to pass. Here come the Bulldogs. D'Angelo going deep, and that pass is overthrown and incomplete, and now a late flag comes in. And the reason why that flag came in is the receiver was complaining. To the right, that was Trevin Chapman.
I don't think he could have caught the ball. I think it was over his head.
And I think that's what they're talking about right now, because it was way over his head. There was a little bit of contact over there, but I don't think that was catchable.
And there is a flag laying at the 30-yard line.
Could be offsetting as well.
That would probably be holding right there, I would think. Holding against Hinds.
And they're offsetting penalties. Hinds called for holding, Gulf Coast for pass interference, so we'll do 3rd and 8 again. If you're just joining us, Clint Hatton hit to Quill Williams on a 70-yard touchdown pass on the preceding drive, and it's 6-0 Gulf Coast as they missed the extra point.
Well, you know they're going to put it up here. There's no doubt. They may try the bubble screen. They may try the screen they've been throwing out here, but, you know, look downfield. This is not something that, from what I've seen so far, Hinds, it's 3rd down. They need 8. Watch out.
Stud receiver Leslie is over here one-on-one with Tyrone Williams. Now here comes some pressure up the middle. D'Angelo hit. The ball is loose on the sidelines, now down, and I believe one of the Hinds upbacks has it. It came down right at the hash mark, and it was recovered, but great pressure coming off the edges by the Bulldogs. That was Cortez Hartzog. He got his mid in there. Ball was loose and recovered by Hinds. So 2 times now, Gulf Coast has brought the heat on 3rd down and gotten some pressure on Anthony D'Angelo.
Hartzog, they're having a hard time keeping him out of the backfield.
They are. That's 2 big plays by Cortez, the big sophomore from Gulfport. DeMuth on his 15 punts it away. The knuckleball end over end hits inside the 40, and the Bulldogs are going to let it roll, and it's down at about the 37-yard line, and that's where Gulf Coast will take over with 8:28 to go, and the Bulldogs leading 6-0. We told you they've won 7 in a row against Hinds. Here at A.O. May Memorial Stadium, Gulf Coast is riding a 15-game home winning streak. They are 31-2 since 2006, and in South Division action, also 31-2 since, I believe, 2007. So this has been the place for home cooking for Gulf Coast, and they're hoping to extend that streak tonight, hopefully with a big win over Hinds. A long way to go, though. Here in the first quarter, Gulf Coast leading 6-0. Clint Hatton at quarterback, 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Hatton takes the snap, gives up the middle to Byron Nettles. Before that play can get going, a flag is down. Might have been some movement.
Left guard or left tackle against us.
And that'll push the Bulldogs back 5.
Right before the snap, he jumped. I'd like to give a special hello to Coach Gary Long, the athletic director at East Central, had heart surgery today, but he went through it well. So we know he's listening to the game because he said it wasn't as complicated as they thought. He's doing fine. Heart surgery is complicated, I know.
Yeah. I know what he means. Believe me, we're thinking about you, Coach Long. Does a great job over at East Central. Pass over the middle, caught by DeQuil Williams into Hinds territory, and a Bulldog first down. That's 2 slants, and he's been open both times, and his athletic ability is ridiculous. This guy's making plays all over the place.
He's going to make them get into man. They're staying in a zone, in kind of a deep zone, and they're respecting his speed and size, and he's hitting the zone, and Hatton's right on target.
1st and 10. At the Hinds 49, Hatton and Williams have had the hookup here so far tonight. Now they give up the middle. Big hole for Anton Thornton. Thornton breaks loose in the secondary to the sideline, run out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And Anton Thornton gets his first taste of action tonight, and he takes it down to the 21. Big run, big hole.
Well, great blocking on the right side for the offensive line of Gulf Coast, springing him downfield. And, man, what a run. As you see right there, he just finishes well. Once he kicks it in that second gear, he can go.
26 yards on the run by Thornton, 1st and 10. This time on the option, Byron Nettles to the 20, run out of bounds at the 18-yard line. That play looked like it might bust wide open, but Hinds closed in. Still a good run for Byron, who's going to be featured tomorrow night in our player profile on Bulldog Blitz.
Tell you something, I'm glad we got back. That's instant replay.
Yeah, home cooking. We get that, too.
I love it.
2nd and 2 was an 8-yard gain by Nettles. From the 16, Gulf Coast leading 6-0 and in the red zone. Now they give to Nettles, kicks it outside and slips and falls right about at the 17. So he may have lost a yard when all is said and done, so it'll be 3rd down coming up. Byron was trying to make one of those 90-degree cuts, and sometimes it's hard to do. The field might be a little slick. We had a light rain shower right before kickoff. Fortunately, the little shower that was just south of us moved to the west, so no more problems with the weather, we don't think. 3rd and 3 from the 17. Gulf Coast leading 6-0, 6:55 to go, 1st quarter. Bulldogs changing the play at the line, 4 seconds on the play clock. Hatton takes the snap, gives on the sweep. That's Nettles inside and hammered at the 15. Making the play that time is Dontrell Hyman, and it'll bring up a 4th down for the Bulldogs, and short. Don't know if they're going to do jumbo or try to kick a field goal and add to the lead.
That answers your question. There goes the kicker.
Stephen Broccoli coming in, setting up for his 3rd field goal attempt of the year. It'll be a 32-yarder from the near hash mark. And just before he can kick it, I believe Hinds calls a timeout. Let's see. Actually, Gulf Coast called the timeout.
Well, if we would have went ahead and went through with the play, they had 12 men on the field. And I thought they were going to try to get a timeout because they had 2 come on, 1 went off, and they had too many out there. And they really didn't know where to line up. They thought Gulf Coast may be trying to fake one, but anyhow, nevertheless, timeout Bulldogs.
And they'll regroup. As we said, Broccoli will attempt his 3rd field goal. He's 2 of 2 on field goals, but now 12 of 16 on extra points. Some of those may have been snaps. We were up in Coahoma the first game, and the wind was blowing about 15, 20 miles an hour, so that had something to do with it, too. Stephen, of course, the cousin of Sean Broccoli, who kicked here in 07 and 08.
And I think Mississippi State would have loved to have had a Broccoli up there kicking for them the other night.
No kidding.
Or the other day, against Auburn.
All right, so play is resuming now with Broccoli attempting. Now they're going to go jumbo. See, they call timeout for a reason. Hatton takes the snap. He's sweeping it. Oh, it's a fake. He faked me out. They gave it to JoJo Snell. Mass confusion down there, and in that sea of gold, JoJo Snell takes it to the 10 for a Gulf Coast first down. I went with Hatton.
We got to run this in replay. I didn't know how he got the ball. We can't do it. Okay. I tell you, I did not see him get the ball.
Our whole staff is fired on that play because we all missed it, including yours truly. 1st and 10, great fake.
It was snapped to him. Snap it directly to him.
The direct snap to Snell. 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the 10. Up the middle is Thornton. Thornton bullying his way down to about the 5-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from there. Yeah, they did the direct snap to JoJo Snell. He went left. Hatton went right with a beautiful fake, and the Bulldogs are back in business. 2nd and goal from the 5. They lead 6-0 with 5:33 to go here in the first quarter. Now Thornton lining up to Hatton's right. The fake to Thornton, Hatton takes it. This time a lot of traffic just off right tackle, and he barely got it back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and goal coming up.
Hinds had a run blitz or a pass blitz, and he ran right into it. If he hands the ball off, one man is all he had to beat on this side. He'd stepped in the end zone.
So 3rd and goal from the 6. Gulf Coast leading 6-0. Hatton takes the snap, going to the end zone, and that pass is caught in the back of the end zone, and that is a Bulldog touchdown. Guess who? DeQuil Williams again.
He's going to have as many touchdowns as he does pass receptions.
The first one was a 70-yarder. That was a 6-yarder. Look at that. Perfect touch. The fade pattern into the end zone. He beats the coverage, and DeQuil goes up and gets it. And pending the extra point, Gulf Coast will be up 13-0.
He's serious about tonight, isn't he?
Well, he couldn't play last week. He got suspended, breaking team rules as Broccoli adds the extra point. That time the snap was good, and he drilled it. So with 4:49 to go in the first quarter, Gulf Coast ups their lead to 13-0 over Hinds. And, yeah, first game he lit it up, and so far he's got 2 touchdowns. Yeah, you're right. I think he was ready to play.
You know, that would have been good in the NFL. He got both feet down inbounds before he went out. But just a great pass from Hatton. You know, that ball can only be thrown one spot. That's right at the back of the flag back there. He goes up and gets it, gets his feet down, touchdown.
A terrific play. Another solid drive by the Bulldogs. And they lead at 13-0. I got to tell you, Jimmy, so far, the Bulldogs look pretty dominant. We're still early here in the first quarter, but I don't think Hinds, they may have trailed at one of their games. I think it was last week they were down midway through the second quarter, so we'll see how the number 6 team in the country responds to being down 13-0. Of course, remember last year we were up 28-0 thinking everything was okay. Snap your fingers, it's 28-26, so don't know if it's going to play out like that again this year, but Gulf Coast once again answering the bell and coming out strong. They've come out strong in all 3 games so far this season.
We don't want the old milk cow to dry up tonight like he did last year.
No, sir. Broccoli puts his foot into it, kicks it right down the middle to Tenner at the 8, Tenner to the 20. Tenner goes down right at the 20, and a whole gang of Bulldogs converge on him there, so Hinds will start at their own 21, down 13-0.
You know, Bill, when you see 7 guys on special team make the tackle, that's amazing. That's attacking the football.
That's exactly what it is. They preach special teams here at Gulf Coast. Always have good special teams. 1st and 10 from 21, far hash for Anthony D'Angelo and the Hinds offense. Going in motion is Morales. Now they tries the run up the middle. That's Ragsdale. Ragsdale carrying a couple of people and pushes himself forward to about the 26 before he's brought down by the Bulldog defense. Darian Ragsdale, the 6-foot, 198-pound sophomore from Pelahatchie. In his first 2 games, he carried for 208 yards and a touchdown. They got a nice little 1-2 punch in the backfield. He picked up 6, so it's 2nd and 4. Gulf Coast leading 13-0. 4:15 to go, first quarter. Hinds going left to right here at ALMA Memorial Stadium. The give this time, or the fake, D'Angelo keeps it, and he would go nowhere as Dawson Wells stayed at home and brought him down after a gain of about 1, I guess.
Wells read it well and came right in on the fake. Was good. D'Angelo's doing a heck of a job faking in the backfield. Conway on the stop prior to that. So the Bulldogs are getting some pressure, and you're getting to see him use about 6 different defensive linemen out there. He's resting these guys, keeping them fresh.
3rd and 1 from the 30. 3 wideouts to the left. D'Angelo looking that way. Now going out of the backfield to Baker. Baker breaks 1 tackle, gets the first down as he takes it out to the 34-yard line. Derek Moncrief there to bring him down, but not before Baker gets a Hinds first down.
As time Wells misses a tackle, he had him probably in the backfield if he don't miss it.
Good job by Moncrief staying at home. But Hinds moves the chains. 3:18 to go, first quarter, 13-0 Bulldogs. D'Angelo gives up the middle. Big hole that time for Baker across the 40 down to the 43. Picked up about 7 that time. And back-to-back running play successful for Hinds. Big hole there on the left side.
Steve Davis said they will not change out of that 3 front. They're going to stay in it. It's worked for them. They don't have any plans of moving out of it.
3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. They give up the middle again, and Baker crosses the 30, or rather 44-yard line, and that should be enough for a Hinds first down. So the Eagles now going to the ground, trying to get back in this game, down 13-0 here in the first quarter.
Well, that was Travis Taylor's first tackle of the night. Had a big game last week. You had him on your show last week, and that's the first time we called his name tonight.
So from the 43, a new set of downs for Hinds. They have 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. D'Angelo gives up the middle, the same play 3 times in a row. And once again, it's Baker out to the 49-yard line. So a pickup of about 6 on first down. So the inside of the Bulldog run defense getting gashed a little bit here, at least on this drive.
Well, they're running and attacking right behind the center, taking it right at the center of the field. And our linebackers are getting blocked, and that's what's pushing things back. Safety having to come up and make the stop.
2nd and 5. Same play again. Baker again across midfield out to about the 47-yard line, and he's very close to a first down. Sherman Boyd was in at nose guard.
Bulldogs had a safety blitz call that time from the right side, and if D'Angelo was going to play fake and keep the ball, he was going down. But it is 3rd and 1 across the 50-yard line around the 47 of the Bulldogs.
1:33 to go first quarter. Hinds down 13-0. Now new running back in is Ragsdale, and up the middle again. They've run that play 5 straight times, and it's another first down for the Eagles.
Well, the Bulldogs got to pull these linebackers out and put some fresh ones in. That's what they're doing, and 2 fresh linemen in.
Sherman Boyd coming back in. Hartzog still playing defensive end. Trey Wofford in at linebacker. 1st and 10, they run it again. This time it's Ragsdale. He takes it across the 40 to the 39, but another positive gain for the Hinds Eagles.
Steve Davis is looking for somebody to step up in the middle of that line to stop that play at impact, right there where it's kept breaking the line of scrimmage.
This is almost like a junior high game. They run the same play. They've run it 5 or 6 straight times, and every time they've got positive yardage right up the middle. Less than a minute to go, first quarter. Gulf Coast leading 13-0. 2nd and 6 from the Gulf Coast 34. D'Angelo this time gives off to Ragsdale, and he will go nowhere. Shooting the gap that time is Hartzog. Somebody got some penetration by the Bulldogs right in the middle, and that broke up the rhythm of that one.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, they either dialed up a corner, but Luckett came through that time, and he disrupted the play in the backfield.
He did. Keel was there as well to make sure that was going nowhere. Cavellis Luckett, the freshman from Macomb, Mississippi, doing a nice job. And sometimes that's just what you need, a little rhythm breaker there to stem the tide. It'll be 3rd and long as time expires here in the first quarter, but a very prosperous first quarter for the Gulf Coast Bulldogs. After 15 minutes, they lead Hinds 13-0. We will take a 30-second break and come back with more action from A.L. May Memorial Stadium here on Bulldog Live and 103.1 FM WOSM. At ALMA Memorial Stadium, second quarter about to start. Hinds facing a 3rd and 10 from the Gulf Coast 43, now going right to left. D'Angelo back, got time, going deep, got a man down there, and at the last minute, it's knocked away. A terrific recovery play by Nigel Green. D'Angelo had a man open, but Green came in. That was kind of a Deion Sanders type play. Green comes in to knock the ball away and force a 4th down. A terrific job by the Bulldogs secondary. That prevented a touchdown. I believe the man he was looking for was Trevin Chapman, but Green made a terrific play.
Great closing speed on Green that time. He had been burnt, but right at the very last minute jumps up and knocks it away.
So DeMuth, who's been a busy man for Hinds, standing at his own 42-yard line. Back deep awaiting the punt is Josh Keys. It's a short punt, but it's going to take a bounce, and Keys takes it, fumbles the ball, jumps back on it, but Gulf Coast will be inside the 10. That was a no-man's land type of punt because he got that end-over-end roll. Keys tried to take it and make something happen, but he fumbled the football. Fortunately, he recovered, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 7.
Bill, you'd like to see him come up and feel that ball in the air. His momentum would be carrying toward the recovery team coming down. It's his advantage. You don't want that thing hitting and bouncing around on your 10-yard line because that can happen right there. You know, we're lucky we didn't get a turnover and give them the ball inside our red zone.
So 1st and 10, Gulf Coast. They lead 13-0. 2 touchdown passes from Clint Hatton to DeQuil Williams. The difference in this game, 2 wideouts to the left and 1 to the right for Hatton. 1 running back in the backfield on play action. Hatton going for Tyrone Williams, and that pass is just off his fingertips and incomplete. 2nd down coming up. Of course, Williams had a big game last week against Holmes. Remember, he scored on that flea flicker. Clint had plenty of time to throw, good timing in between the zone. It was just off of Tyrone's fingertips.
Yeah, he had kind of triple coverage. The ball was a little bit overthrown. He had 1 receiver open out here in the flats, but he elected to go to the deep receiver. The ball was just maybe a yard overthrown.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Hatton from the gun gives up the middle. Byron Nettles has some room. There goes Byron across the 25, darting through the middle of the field, still on his feet, out to about the 33-yard line, and the sophomore from Moss Point moves the chains. You give him a little space, and he does some business.
Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he broke a tackle, and I went and stood beside him today. 180 pounds, that's giving him a little bit of advantage there.
It does. Nice run by Nettles, 1st and 10. Now to give up the middle to Anton Thornton, and Thornton is dragged down after picking up about 4. Right up the middle, Anton Thornton, the sophomore from Pascagoula. And you heard Coach Campbell talking about all the terrific players from Jackson County. You saw 2 of them right there. Thornton picks up 5 at 2nd and 5.
And there's JoJo out there. As they said, you're going to see him carry the ball some tonight.
JoJo so far has been the big play man in regards to big runs. He's had 2 long ones, 2nd and 5 from the 38. For Gulf Coast, they enjoy a 13-0 lead, 13:40 to go here in the first half. Snell in there along with Eli Hughes. Hatton directs some traffic, now gives to Snell. Snell trying to cut right, breaks it outside. Flag is down as Snell fumbles, gets back on it right at midfield, but I think that's going to come back. Looks like it might be a holding penalty against the Bulldogs. You saw the explosiveness, though, of JoJo Snell, and that is a holding call.
Don't cost us 10, and it actually going to cost us a lot more than that because he got about, 15 yards on that carry. It's going to cost us 25. Man. And again, these running backs, they keep running them in and out. They're fresh backs. They come in. They're all pretty much the same size, a lot of quickness, breaking those interior tackles and taking it right up the seam of the field. They're hard to bring down in open field because they're like a rabbit. They're just like trying to catch a rabbit in a briar patch. That's the best way I know how to explain it, Bill.
I think that's good. I'll tell you another way in a minute that'll make sense, sort of. DeAndrian Terry in motion on 2nd and 16. Hatton moves up in the pocket, throws it out. DeAndrian's wide open on the far side, 1st down and more. DT's got room across the 40 and down at the Hinds 31-yard line. DeAndrian Terry, nobody even thought about covering him over there, and another big play by DT.
Well, his man that was supposed to cover him came in on the blitz, so instead of him running a long route, Smart thing to do. Hold up. The quarterback's going to see me. Good job by Hatton. A good pickup. If he'd have waited on his blockers that time, I believe he'd have taken it the distance.
I think DT was thinking I'm going to get another touchdown like he did last weekend. Adrian Terry, a great job as the Bulldogs are now within striking distance again, leading 13-0. And what I've seen so far, Jimmy, is a team that has come out of the gate strong once again.
They just like they fed them gunpowder when they came out here ready to play.
They are ridiculous fast the way, last couple of years you've seen an evolution from big guys that have speed to small guys that are even faster, and it's showing up tonight to the tune of a 13-0 lead over the Hinds Eagles.
Well, it was evident whenever that corner tried to make the tackle over there, and all he could do was just stick his arm out. He just blew right by him. The speed is, and when you're watching film on our team, the speed we have is misleading. You can't really detect the speed that this team has till you get out there on that field and play against it.
Some other scores from around the league, courtesy of JUCOweekly.org. Colin leading East Central 13-0. Holmes has a 7-0 lead on Northeast. Itawamba is 2-0. They lead Delta 7-0. Here it's 13-0 Gulf Coast over Hinds. And I'll get you some more scores here in just a few minutes. Northwest leading Kahoma 17-0. 12:57 to go first half. Gulf Coast leading 13-0 over Hinds. Gulf Coast going left to right. Coming in motion once again, Adrian Terry. This time to give up the middle. And down to the 25, they'll mark him at the 26, is Byron Nettles. He dragged a couple of guys that time as the Bulldogs continue to drive.
That was just a straight, quick opener right up the left side of the center, right between the center and the guard. Just speed, Bill, just speed.
2nd and 5 from the 27. Hatton, play action, rolling out. He's got two men out there and throws it deep, and the pass is incomplete. Looking deep for Tyrone Williams. He was well covered that time by Damian Blue, and Clint elected to throw it away, live another day, and that's a sophomore with experience. Instead of trying to make a play when there isn't one, it'll be 3rd down.
As you said last week, we don't throw to the tight ends very much. Pope was wide open in the pattern that time, but he was not the target set up for the play.
So 3rd and 5 from the Hinds 27. Hatton calling signals, takes the snap, play action, bubble screen to the right to Tyrone Williams. He's going to have to dance around. He tries to break it outside, but Hinds was all over that one that time, and it'll be a loss of 3, and then a late flag comes in. So let's see what that's about.
That may be a personal foul against us, a late hit.
Yeah, that bubble screen was burst right off the bat.
Now watch, I don't know if you can see it on, you couldn't see it on the replay, but let's see if this is not the call. Wow, that's the call. It cost us 15. We're our own worst enemy here tonight.
It's this 3rd penalty on Gulf Coast. It was on Cade Amaker that time. Don't know if he said something or pushed somebody in the back, but whatever the case, it's going to push us way back. In fact, all the way to the 46-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and forever.
Yeah, it's after the play, so we lose the down.
Right.
We don't get it over. No, he waylaid one out there. It was legit.
Well, he'll enjoy watching it on film anyway. Of course, he's going to hear about that from the coaching staff. Our first look at Zach Pinkerton tonight from punting formation. Bobbles the snap, but has plenty of time and gets off a solid punt. Bringing it in with the fair catch at the 10 is Trevin Chapman, and that's where Hinds will set up down 13-0 with 11:55 to go here in the first half. Some more scores. I told you about Northwest leading Kahoma 17-0 in the second quarter up in Senatobia. Over in Poplarville, I guess you could say in the bottom of the 3rd, Jones, our next opponent, leads Pearl River 3-2.
Wow. Somebody doubled in too, huh?
It looks that way. Jones 3, Pearl River 2, and Scuba leading Southwest 14-0 over in Summit. 1st and 10, Hinds from their own 10. Anthony D'Angelo in at quarterback, looking right, throws the pass out. It is caught by Desmond Anderson, but going nowhere is Anderson. Nigel Green, Dawson Wells over there again. Great job reading the screen. Nigel just right in front of him, not letting him go anywhere. So far, Nigel Green having himself a night.
He really is. The one hiccup he had was the penalty he had on the punt, but other than that, he's played a real good game, good coverage, good solid tackle that time, only a 2-yard gain.
Nigel, the freshman from Northwest Rankin, officially, they gave Anderson 2 yards on that, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the Hinds 12. 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. D'Angelo takes the snap, bobbles it, brings it back in, throws it deep as he's hit, and the pass is picked off by who else? Nigel Green. He's got some room. Back to the 25, to the 20, and down to the 15-yard line. So the Bulldogs are in business, and they pick up the first turnover of the game, and Nigel Green right on cue making a big play.
Travis Taylor unloaded, unloaded that time on D'Angelo, and just as he threw the ball, and those two guys played against each other for 4 years. They know each other well.
Well, you know, Anthony bobbled the snap, then rolled out a little bit, then got hammered as he threw it, so the pass was underthrown, and Green was right there playing center field, and Gulf Coast is in business, 1st and 10 from the 15. And we got down here on the last series and stalled. Let's see what they can do here, leading 13-0, 11 minutes to go in the first half. 2 running backs behind Hatton. Hatton now on the option, pitches out to Nettles. Nettles inside the 10 and run out of bounds at about the 8-yard line on the far sideline. So a pickup of about 7 for Byron Nettles.
You know, back in the old days, that'd be illegal to run that play the way they flipped that thing. They can flip it ahead. Now it's an incomplete pass if he drops it. So those things have changed over the years. In the ancient years when I played football, and you do
Horse
that,
and buggy days.
That would be an illegal forward pass is what that would be.
Forward lateral, I guess. 2nd
Yes,
and 3
exactly.
after the 7-yard gain from the 8. Same setup as last time. Hatton does the same pitch to Byron Nettles. He walks in, touchdown Bulldogs. Same play. The result is 6, and Gulf Coast is up 19-0.
Well, as you said, same play. They did anything different. So there goes a flag flying after the play. This will be a personal foul deal that'll happen on the kickoff. Somebody's saying something out there. I'm not sure if it's a Gulf Coast player or a Hinds player.
Good fake. They bid on that, and so did Rich, as Byron Nettles scores on the touchdown. That's his 4th touchdown this season.
Well, Williams the one that threw the kick-out block that allowed him to go in. And the Bulldogs are, again, going to get penalized 15 yards on sportsmanlike conduct.
And that's where the freshman in these guys comes in, getting a little too rowdy. But you know what, Coach Campbell, he gets upset about that, but he'd rather him be up-tempo on that side than dead. Snap is down, kick is up by Broccoli, and it is good. So with 10:33 to go in the first half, it's all Bulldogs. They're up 20-0 over Hinds. I thought this was going to be closer, coming especially with the experience that Hinds has and their big play capability. But once again, as we've talked about all season, Jimmy, the speed of this Bulldogs team, it's impressive.
Speed and depth. Speed and depth.
And depth, yes.
He's
Good
running
point.
a lot of players on and off the field. They felt like last week they made a mistake in not playing enough players, enough minutes last week. They said you'll see a lot more players play tonight. We're not going to let anybody cramp up here tonight.
And tonight, of course, here in the well air-conditioned press box, not bad for us, instead of the sweatshop we were in last week up at Holmes, and it was very humid up there last week. Not as humid tonight. Of course, it was pretty warm today, but the humidity wasn't too bad. And then we had that little shower. So
I had a doctor's appointment the next day just to check up.
Yeah.
7 pounds I lost in that game last
Are you
week.
kidding me?
7 pounds in that sweat box.
yeah, it was quite toasty up there. See the band of gold getting rowdy, doing the MGC chant.
Boy, we got a great crowd tonight. Good to see everyone out. Had a big deal down there at
the
the
Bulldog tailgate down at the Heidelberg Hall. Yeah, very good crowd tonight. Bulldogs going with the Gold Rush uniforms, and tomorrow night on Bulldog Blitz, if you haven't seen it on our website, you'll be able to see the uniform combinations of this year. As Broccoli tees it up at the 20. That comes from the penalty, and Tenner takes it at his 17. He's got a lot of room. Now slips just outside the 30, and the Bulldogs cover that one nicely. Again, JoJo Snell down there along with Trey Wofford to make sure Kowalski Tenner would go no further.
Not bad from kicking off where he had to kick from.
Not bad at all.
Well, no wind tonight, Bill. This Old Glory just laying there.
It is. 20-0 Gulf Coast leads, 10:28 to go here in the first half. 2 touchdown passes to DeQuil Williams, and just a few minutes ago, a touchdown run by Byron Nettles. Now, new quarterback in for Hinds. That's Chris Nelson. He was the original starter before D'Angelo came in off the bench. That time he gave to Ragsdale, and once again, he had some room up the middle. He picked up 9, so it'll be 2nd and 1 after the 8-yard run. Nelson is a 6'4", 225-pound sophomore from Theodore. Now they give up the middle again. This time it's clogged up, but I believe Ragsdale got enough for the first down.
I believe he just got across the line. He did. Well, I don't know. They're going to spot it, maybe measure it. Let's see. First down. Okay, first down. Yeah, I was wondering when they were going to go to the bullpen. I thought that D'Angelo was really getting hammered, having a hard time. This kid here making run the ball, I don't know.
Yeah. Pass on the bubble screen is dropped. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, trying to go out to Morales. The timing was messed up. Cordelis Luckett just blew through right in the line. I'm surprised they didn't call him offsides that time. Got away with one, perhaps.
I know. Did you not think Luckett was offsides? I thought he was.
They didn't call it, though.
They didn't call it either way. That's right.
So it's 2nd and 10. Kenner Johnson out here and Finnest Armstrong broke up the rhythm on that bubble screen. So it's 2nd and 10. Nelson back to pass. Going over the middle, the pass is caught, then dropped, and then getting hammered is Desmond Anderson right there at midfield. He really never had possession, and the Bulldogs were there to make sure he would go nowhere anyway. Nigel Green in again from his defensive back position, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
And Dawson Wells also back there with him, dropping back from his linebacker spot.
9:38 to go. Gulf Coast leading 20-0. They've got the blitz coming. Nelson has time. A bullet over the middle, but that pass is incomplete. He had a receiver, Trevin Chapman, on the slant. He had about a step on Armstrong, but he had too much arm, did Nelson, and that brings up another 4th down for Hinds.
Well, the only thing he could do was overthrow it or throw it where he could run under it, because if he underthrows the ball, that one's picked off. Good coverage, I thought, that time by our secondary.
You want to understand Nelson has the stronger arm of the two, but his accuracy is a little bit questionable, as you saw that time overthrowing. So Pate DeMuth, standing on his own 29, has been a busy man for Hinds so far, back deep, and before he could get it off, flags are down, and I believe he's going to go back 5 yards on a false start penalty.
The guy that was on the end for Hinds on this side rocked back in his stance.
And you can't do that. It's been all Bulldogs from A.L. May Memorial Stadium. They have a 15-game home winning streak, hoping to make it 16. And right now, things are looking good from that standpoint as Gulf Coast leads it 20-0. So DeMuth now on his 24 as he steps 5 yards back. This time, Eli Hughes back to receive this punt. It bounces just inside the 30. Hughes will pick it up at the 18. Hughes trying to make something out of nothing. The Hinds special teams down there to smother him, and a late flag comes in. Might have been a little business there under the pile. Let's see how this plays out as the refs are trying to make sure this game doesn't get chippy. You know, you got the number 4 team, number 6 team, South Division opener. There's going to be some adrenaline going, as we've seen so far this evening.
I thought one came in late. I thought this was a late hit.
Face mask. So that'll move it out all the way to the 34, so a good break for the Bulldogs. Each team has been penalized 3 times so far this evening.
Well, the Bulldogs get to start just shy of the 35. We'll have marked it at 34. As you said, only the time that we messed up on offense and the penalties and the miscues. Other than that, the Bulldogs have put it in the end zone, as the score shows now.
9:18 to go, first half. Yeah. And Gulf Coast looking for more. DeQuil Williams back in the game. He caught a 70-yarder and he caught a 8-yarder from Clint Hatton. who now has 7 touchdowns on the year against 1 interception. Hatton's got 2 running backs flanking him. He gives to Byron Nettles. Nettles working his blockers, kicks it outside across the 40, across the, look at this run by Nettles. He's still going. If he hadn't tripped himself, he may have scored. Out to the 48, a terrific job by Byron Nettles. He was going too fast.
He was. He tripped himself right at about the 48-yard line. He was coming all the way back across the field. He would have taken it all the way. I don't think anybody could have caught him.
He tripped over one of his linemen. Okay, I was going to say the turf monster, but it was one of his up men. Whatever the case, great run by Nettles and a first down. Now they give to Anton Thornton. Big hole on the left side across midfield, and Thornton picks up 5 on first down.
This is Steve Campbell football.
Yep.
He's going to get right back up on the ball, and he's going to hand that ball off again. The next thing you know, it'll be a play fake.
I was about to say the same thing. You know, the Bulldog running game coming into tonight, combined with all the running backs, 625 yards and 9 touchdowns. They gave Thornton 3 that time, so it's 2nd and 7 just across midfield at the Hinds 49. Some movement up front, a free play, but flags come in and the play's blown dead. Don't know if one of the Bulldog linemen jumped or it was Hinds in the neutral zone.
I believe Hinds came over and tapped our center before the ball snapped.
And it is offsides on the Eagles. So nothing is going right for Hinds so far tonight, coming in at 2-0.
So we had replay and we lost replay. You guys do a great job. I love this. This is good.
We're going to talk about that in post-production. Hey, we had it for a few minutes anyway. So it's 2nd and 2 after the 5-yard penalty. Hatton on play action, plenty of time to throw, steps up, now tries to get away, and he is gobbled up. That time, penetration from Hinds from Jimmy White leading the way, along with Rashawn Broussard, one of their better linemen. Hatton almost slipped away, but a nice job that time by Jimmy White to bring him down. So it'll be 3rd and 3 after the loss of 1.
That's his first sack of the night. The offensive line has done a good job. He rolled out of the pocket, rolled to the far side. But you have to credit the secondary that time. Our receivers were pretty much covered up that time.
7:31 to go. Gulf Coast leading 20-0, and a timeout is called on the field. Well, so far so good. You know, we were messing around with the replay. We've got like 18 camera angles tonight. It's very close to Monday Night Football. We got the top angle. We've got 2 in the end zones. You're seeing right there one of those. We got the booth cam. I think we've got one under the bleachers too to check on how people are buying stuff at the concession stand.
Wow.
Not really, but you know, we could if we wanted. That's all I'm saying.
In other words, we got this field and the press box covered.
That's how we roll here with Bulldog Live. In fact,
well, I might have to say, from the times that we started this thing, you know, 100 years ago to where it's at today, technology's went a long way.
Oh,
but
it
Gulf
has.
Coast has grown with it.
It has, and you have to. See, back in 06 when I came in here, we were lucky to get radio because that was a couple years after Katrina. The press box was redone right around then, so it was state-of-the-art at that time, and we've evolved with the technology. Then you have internet and streaming video, and just got to roll with it. Back to live action now. 3rd and 3 from the Hinds 45. Hatton making some adjustments in the protection. Gives up the middle. That's Thornton. Breaks a tackle. Pushes his way through. There goes Anton Thornton inside the 30 to the 21-yard line. And you know who he looked like right there? That was a Vic Ballard-esque run by Anton Thornton. Whatever the case, first down Bulldogs.
He exploded through that. When he gets to about the linebacker area, he just explodes through there.
23 yards on the run by Anton Thornton. Quickly, Bulldogs back to the line. Byron Nettles breaks loose. Nettles running it outside and run out of bounds inside the 15 at the 14. So they came to the line quick, got the tempo going, and picked up another nice gain on the ground with Byron Nettles, who's already scored a touchdown this evening.
Well, good job by Terry that time, not holding over here. He could have easily been called, but he didn't lock up. Did a good job. Play stands. 2nd
and 1 from the 17. Bulldogs up 20-0 and looking for more. 7:02 to go first half. The give up the middle. to Nettles, taking it down to about the 10, and that should be enough for another Bulldog first down. He had some room, and then it closed up pretty quickly.
He runs as much backwards as he does forward. Watch him get spun around. He keeps driving. Look at there, running backwards, spins it around. Good shot, guys. Good job.
And a new set of downs for Gulf Coast. 1st and 10 from the Hinds 11. It's been all Bulldogs in the Gold Rush uniforms, leading 20-0. Eli Hughes in the backfield behind Clint Hatton. Hatton, play action, and before he can get it away, flags come in. There must have been some movement up on the line, and it was a false start on Gulf Coast, so that'll back them up 5, the 4th penalty of the evening on Gulf Coast.
You know, this is a veteran line we got out there. Didn't have to have many replacements to come in. I don't know who that call was on. I didn't hear what he said. But then, you know, that particular time, the Bulldogs had momentum going, and that's a momentum breaker right there.
It is, even though it's 5 yards, that does slow you down.
Look at the crowd, man. They just flashed across one of the cameras. Just a huge crowd here tonight.
Very nice crowd here at A.L. May. Now on the pitch, it's Eli Hughes, and Hughes can't get outside. He is brought down hard by the Hinds defense. Mitchell Hoskins leading the way. And 2nd down coming up with 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, we got a player got to come. I guess he lost his helmet. He had to come out for a play.
Got to come out for that. That came up big last week. I watched 2 or 3 games on Saturday, and there were helmets flying all over the place.
You know, the coaches are very upset about that. You know, all the college coaches and all, they're very upset. You know, they know they're trying to protect the players, but it's gone a little bit too far.
You didn't realize how many helmets came off. 2nd and 15 from the 16. Now the give on the sweep to Nettles. Nettles inside the 10. Look at him. Shuck and jive his way in. Touchdown Bulldogs. A 16-yard thing of beauty for Byron Nettles.
That's tackling air there, buddy. That's tackling air. He was there and then he wasn't.
He choked me up just on the run.
Watch this on replay.
Great block by Thornton.
Watch this move here. Oh.
Can I call that an okey doke?
You just don't, I tell you, that's talent. You just don't grow those moves like that.
No.
Man. Wow.
That was shucking and jiving at its best. Another touchdown for Nettles. Broccoli with the extra point, and it is good. So with 5:28 to go, Gulf Coast extends the lead 27-0 over the Hinds Eagles. That's Byron's 5th touchdown of the year, and you won't see too many better than that. That was sweet on 15 different levels.
You know, that safety, he's going to go over there and sit on the bench and say, Coach, that's enough. I don't know where he went. I tackled him, but he wasn't there.
Swinging at air.
Our Bulldog cheerleaders.
And for the first time tonight, we will go down on the field and check in with Jeff Shepard. Better late than never, huh, Shep? You got stuck in traffic?
You know, I got home. You know, you get in.
It's not like you got another job or something.
Yeah, I know. You know, you get in, you try to help the wife and kids. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. You get in, you just can't get out, you know. So, and then there's traffic on Highway 90. But I'm here, and I'm watching.
Speed.
I don't know about what you're saying up there, Bill, but Barry Sanders might have posters of Byron James on his wall because
I just used the okey doke phrase for that.
I mean, if it wasn't the okey doke, it was the hoopty loop. I mean, it was something. There are literally jock straps littered across the field down here. Okay?
Yeah. That was ridiculous move by Nettles, and you know, still early, but 27-0, looking good so far.
Yeah, I'd say we start running the clock, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I know we talked a little bit last week about, you know, Anthony D'Angelo making his return down here. He must have really angered the defense when he lived here because they were rude to him in that first quarter.
They were. He didn't have any time to throw, and when he did, his men were covered, and you know, just a nasty homecoming for Anthony. Well, I'll let you get back, and I'll get you at halftime, and we'll see what Coach Campbell thinks. I think he's going to be a lot happier this week, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have that sourpuss face like he had last week, so we'll see.
All right, thanks, Shep.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll talk to Shep a little bit later. Meanwhile, the ball went out of bounds on Broccoli's kick, so Hinds will take it 1st and 10 from the 25. Chris Nelson in at quarterback. He gives up the middle, and going nowhere that time is Jabari Baker. Brandon Keel shot the gap. Baker thought about going up the middle. Keel said, you're not going anywhere. It's second down.
I knew sooner or later we were going to stop that dive play up the middle. He finally got somebody out there to stop it.
And that's really all Hinds has had. They had one decent drive where they ran it 6 or 7 times right up the middle, but since then, Bupkis. 2nd and 10, no gain that time. 2 wide outs to the left, 2 to the right for Nelson. He's back, 3-man rush. Now he's in trouble, scrambling around. Cortez Hartzog had him, misses him. Nelson still running around. Sherman Boyd misses him. Now Nelson going deep, and the pass is underthrown. He actually had a man open. Desmond Anderson got open since he was out there running around for 10 minutes. Look at this.
I think Hartzog's going to have to come out and give him some air because he ran him all over the place.
He missed him twice. Let's see, I think that was Keel that missed him, then Hartzog, then Sherman Boyd. And then, as we said, Anderson was out there just by the process of elimination. You run around that much, you're going to find some green space. Whatever the case, it's an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd and 10 for Hinds. They're down 27-0, 4:40 to go here in the first half. Nelson takes the snap. He's got time over the middle, and the pass is caught deep and down at the Gulf Coast 35 is Trevin Chapman. They finally hit a big play as Chapman got in a seam in the zone. But you see Nelson got hit by Travis Taylor right at the end. Nelson making the catch. He goes down at the Gulf Coast 35, so Hinds hits on a big play as they try to get back in this game down 27-0, and this is eerily similar to last year all of a sudden.
That was bang, bang. Taylor just a second too late.
Nelson, bad snap, and he jumps on it right at the 37, and he'll go nowhere.
That appears the center thought he was under him, going to take the snap under him, because it just little loop-de-doo snap out there that didn't even get to the quarterback.
David Howell was in there to make sure he would go nowhere, and he didn't. It's a loss of 2. It'll be second down, 4 minutes to go first half. Bulldogs leading 27-0. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. Nelson in the gun, got some pressure, and that pass is incomplete, and the reason why he couldn't get it out to his running back is Cadellis Luckett did the vertical jump, and I think he might have gotten a piece of that. Let's see. But he misdirected the throw, and that's as good as an incompletion. That's good as a tip anyway. 3rd and 12 coming up.
Well, Wendell Weathers like to see that on the basketball court, wouldn't he, man? That vertical leap he had.
I bet Luckett would be a nice power forward. 3rd and 12 from the 37. 3 wideouts to the left for Chris Nelson. Pump fake. Nelson in trouble. He goes down and goes down hard, fumbles the football. The aforementioned Cadellis Luckett in on the sack, and it'll be 4th down. We do have a flag right in the middle of the field.
Was Luckett offsides this time? Did they catch him this time offsides? We'll see. Signal face mask.
I thought I saw face mask. Let's see what we got.
Chop block.
Okay, so the penalty is declined, and Hinds will have to punt again as Luckett came in on the linebacker blitz. So whether it's Nelson or D'Angelo back there, the Hinds quarterbacks have no time to throw.
Well, Luckett's had a good half. I tell you, he's really been in the backfield the first half.
So DeMuth standing on his own 40. Gets the punt away, and that's a nice high kick. Josh Keys calls for the fair catch at the 14-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will set up shop in front, 27-0 with 3:16 to go in the first half.
Well, I don't think it's what you and I expected. We thought, this first half would be a push and shove type thing up and down the field. Somebody finally busts one in, a field goal, 7-3 type thing. But, man, this speed, this youth and this speed, you put it together, and these kids have been coached extremely well, and they really performed. This is their 3rd ball game, and they have not let up yet. I have not seen a let up out of these kids yet. I think maybe the 3rd quarter at Kahoma we might have let up a little bit, but other than that,
no, we were only up 50-7.
That's right. It's hard to keep your team up like that. It really is.
1st and 10 from the 15. Bulldogs leading 27-0 over Hinds. Gulf Coast ranked number 4, Hinds ranked number 6, and now flags come in, and I believe they took a little too much time And they did, and that'll be another penalty, the 5th one on the Bulldogs tonight.
Well, the kids run out there and they go straight to the ball. They don't go to the huddle. They look to the sideline to get the formations in the play.
A couple of scores from JUCOweekly.org. We'll get to those in just a second. So it's 1st and 15. Now the ball on the 10. They give up the middle. Now the pitch outside. That's Nettles. And Nettles run out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Good fake that time by Hatton. Nettles took the pitch. He's having a big night as Byron Nettles. Already scored 2 touchdowns. And that time on the option, picked up about 6. Nettles will stay in the backfield along with Anton Thornton.
Well, Williams threw a good block over there that time.
2nd and 4. Ball on the 26-yard line. This time the give is to Thornton. Thornton across the 25, and I believe he has enough for another Bulldog first down. That's the 8th Gulf Coast first down here in the first half as Thornton gets a blow coming in the game. JoJo Snell and Elijah Hughes. And now we have a Hinds player down on the field about the 24-yard line. We'll check and see who that is in just a minute. Now we'll get to some scores quickly while they attend to the Hinds player. Let's see who that is. That is Kel Thornton, freshman from Raleigh. Now, go ahead.
That's where they have the dog sale every year, hunting dog sale. Raleigh, Mississippi.
I would have
every year
not known that in all my years unless, you know what we're going to talk about? You were talking about, what did you say earlier? Talking about the rabbit thing,
yeah,
right?
Rabbit in the briar patch.
We're going to talk about nutria a little bit later.
Woo.
I've got a story about nutria, and not the ones that washed up on the beach last week. I got something that blew my mind that we learned last week on the way home from Goodman.
They got a bounty on those things over in Louisiana. You know that?
For some reason, as soon as I said that, I knew you'd know this.
They got a bounty. They do.
One of our cameramen,
I thought about going over picking some of them up, taking them to Louisiana, get some bounty money.
The camera shot you see right there is by Bennett Timmer, a red shirt player that's working on Bulldog Live this year. Bennett is a nutria bounty hunter.
Well, there you go.
He gets like $5 a pelt.
That's exactly
He said
right.
the other night he shot like 20 of them.
That's correct. Gas money.
Never heard of it. They could have used him over there on the Bay St. Louis Marsh the other day. Looks like Thornton's going to be okay. Meanwhile, going up the middle for the Bulldogs across the 32 to the 33 is Eli Hughes, and he picks up 5 on first down with 2:16 to go here in the first half.
You know, these 2 long road games, I hadn't heard anything about any deer hits.
Nope.
You guys had...
We didn't even think about going up 49 up to Coahoma. I'll never go down that road again. 2nd and 3 from the 32. 7-yard gain by Hughes. Play action. Now on the option, JoJo Snell looked like he had a head of steam, but he's tripped up just across the 35. He maybe picked up a yard. 1:50 to go here in the first half. Yeah, we went up 55 and Highway 6. I wasn't, you know, we're not.
So you know, didn't take any chances. Huh?
No. There was one little spot between Goodman and where the Holmes, where Holmes is, and getting to 55, it was pretty dark.
Yeah,
we thought maybe there was a shot at some deer, but no dice. 3rd and 3, and flags fly once again. Don't know if that was a delay of game or not. We'll see.
That's going to be procedure, Gulf Coast.
Yeah, I think so. It is a false start on the Bulldogs. Penalty number 6. Some other scores. Colin leads East Central 20-3. Holmes leading Northeast 20-0. You know, Northeast was 2-0 going into that game. Itawamba 2-0 leading Delta 17-0. And we'll get some more scores here in just a second. Northwest, no problem with Coahoma. They're up 24-0. Pearl River now leads Jones 10-3 in the second quarter. Dylan Favre with a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. And in Summit, Scuba, the #1 team in the country, no problem with Southwest. They're up 24-0. And now it looks like the Bulldogs have called their 3rd and final timeout of the first half as Coach Campbell probably wanting to keep things, you know, close to the vest here. You're up 27-0, less than a minute to go first half. You don't want to have a cheap, you know, fumble or touchdown or something like that happen here.
Well, we only had 2 seconds left on the play clock, too, so he called the timeout. He had rushed 3 new receivers out there, and I didn't know if he was going to try something deep, and they didn't get out there in time and get set. So I don't know if he was just doing that as design to have to pop a run-off tackle, but he did put his 3 hot guys out there that's been catching the ball.
Yeah, in the game, DeQuil Williams, DeAdrian Terry, Eli Hughes, and JoJo Snell are your skilled position players.
Well, there's a batch of speed out there right now.
3rd and 8 after the timeout. The ball on the Gulf Coast 28. They're up 27-0. Now going in motion is Snell. Now the pump fake. Hatton in trouble. He rolls out. Got a man coming after him. Hatton will take it and run out of bounds at the 35, and he will pick up a roughing play as the Hinds pursuit got him a little bit too late, and that'll be an extra 15. And now you start thinking, hey, maybe we can get a field goal shot here. Brockley's got a strong leg. You see in pursuit, Dontrell Hyman.
What just hit where this last hit came in?
It wasn't the 2 guys that were coming after him. It was one of the upbacks. That was a silly penalty behind. They didn't.
They got that white painted down there where the players stand, where you can't get past either end of that, and you can stand there. It was way this side of the white between there and the bench.
And the 2 guys chasing him kind of fell down, had him by his shoestrings. It was another upback. Whatever the case, the ball's at midfield with 49 seconds to go, first half. Hatton back to pass, and another flag comes in.
People just don't like watching this either. Your fan, look here, flag.
Yeah.
That might be a timing deal.
Let's see.
Illegal
Unless it's a good one.
It is. It's a legal substitution against Hinds.
Hinds, their 5th penalty. Back-to-back penalties on Hinds puts the ball at the Hinds 45 with 47 seconds to go here in the first half, and Gulf Coast leading 27-0 in this MACJC South Division opener for both teams. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right, 1 running back in the backfield with Hatton. Fakes the handoff. He's in trouble, steps up in the pocket. Hatton's going to throw it, run to the sideline, and run out of bounds at about the 39. Good job by Hatton. The pocket collapsed. He made something out of nothing.
Well, Hughes threw a good block, too. Gave him another 5 yards.
And that's another first down.
Gator season's open in Mississippi right now, too. But you have to be drawn. You have to turn your name in and you have to draw. You have to draw.
So it's like a Gator lottery?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
1st and 10 from the 37. Hatton in trouble, wiggles his way out of trouble, still looking for somebody to throw to. Flag comes down, and now it's a schoolyard play as Hatton runs left and has plenty of room. Looked like a block in the back, a block in the front. There's going to be about 6 penalties on this play.
That official in the end zone down there at the 5-yard line, he threw his flag like 30 yards. Do you know what's inside that little ball?
I believe it's little silica pellets, right? Something like that?
Well, they used to
Nutria? Gator? No, go tell me. I don't know. It's like little stuff.
Well, you're probably right now, but in the past, all these years past, it was rice. They put rice in there.
Now, did they get rid of the rice because of the urban legend about birds eating rice at weddings?
Yeah, probably so. How they hit the ground, bust, and that thing. But for years and years and years, that's what they used was rice.
All right, so the holding penalty is accepted. The block in the back is declined. And on that play, the refs were busier than a centipede at a toe counting contest.
There you go.
Your weekly Foghorn Leghorn quote, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do.
I like these gold suits.
It is kind of cool looking. I wasn't sure at first, and then DeAdrian Terry, when he modeled them, looked pretty good. So that pushes the ball back to the 47. It'll be 1st and 20. 24 seconds to go, and the Bulldogs leading 27-0. Eli Hughes in the backfield with Clint Hatton. Hatton's got a pair of touchdown passes. DeAdrian Terry in motion. Hatton looking out left, thrown to Terry. The pass is caught and dropped. Terry got hammered by Zachary Witchett right at the 45-yard line, and that'll be no gain. It'll be 2nd and 20 coming up. Timing just a little bit off that time.
He's going to tell Clint, don't do that no more. That hurts.
That's a hangout to dry right there. Nice hit that time by Witchett. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. So 9 seconds to go. Let's see if we'll do a Hail Mary here, or maybe do an intermediate route and try to set up the field goal. I think they'll probably do a Hail Mary. Let's see. Hatton looks like he's warming up his arms. This should be last play of the first half. Hatton back to pass. He's got plenty of time going deep down the left sideline, and a man is open. It's caught. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Touchdown on the last play of the first half. That is DeQuill Williams again.
He threw that ball beautiful. And you just see the speed right at the 5-yard line. He kicks in the afterburner, gets into the end zone. What a beautiful pass. What a beautiful catch.
That's ridiculous.
And he was in double coverage. Everybody in the stadium knew what was fixing to happen.
You see why that guy was an LSU signee. He can flat out play.
Wow.
And Williams, he's got a little a taste for the theatrical, if you will, as Broccoli boots the extra point through. 34-0 Gulf Coast as we go to halftime. And we'll go down on the field and talk to head coach Steve Campbell with Jeff Shepard. What a way to end the half. That is just crazy. A 47-yard touchdown pass to Williams. Wow. Here's Jeff with Coach Campbell.
Coach, he's happy. Look at a little different interview coming up. I can tell you that than it was last week.
All right, Shep, it's all yours. Go ahead.
Well, Coach, you can't ask for a better start or end to a half. I mean, you hit big touchdown passes to start the game and end it.
Yeah, we did. The guys came out ready to play today. We're up 34-0, but, still too many. We left some points out there. We left a couple of drives out there early, and a lot of penalties and mistakes. But all in all, I'm pleased but not satisfied.
Other side of the ball, defensively, no points. Really punishing the quarterbacks out there.
Yeah, they're getting after the quarterbacks. Our D-line's really playing well. The receivers are doing a great job covering, or our DBs are doing a great job covering their guys, and really proud of the way that the defense has played. The fronts giving a lot of pressure, and, I can't say enough. They've shut them out for 30 minutes, so really pleased with their play.
All right, Coach, thanks. We'll see you in the second half. All right, Coach. Bill, as he mentioned, He's pleased, not satisfied. No coach has ever been satisfied ever, so that's not a shocker there.
No.
But I won't. It's not a perfect half, but it's about as close as a perfect half as you can get. So, really dominating effort. I asked Byron James what he ate before the game. His answer was Eagle food. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm going to try to dig a little deeper in the second half, and that is why you pay me the big bucks.
You know what? I think it's a lot like Nutria, from what I hear.
It tastes just like chicken.
It is. We'll see you in a few minutes, Shep.
All right, guys.
All right. Shep on the sideline. Yeah, he's not going to be pleased with the penalties, and, they always want, coaches want it perfect, but he's got to be happy the way these guys have responded. There was some hype coming in, Gulf Coast at number 4, Hinds at number 6, that kind of thing, and so far the Bulldogs have come out and made a statement, 34-0, and DeQuill Williams, of course, he was suspended last week. He came back this week and made up for it big time with some terrifically huge plays.
Well, they grow up and things happen. You don't do exactly what you're supposed to do under the coach's rules or under the school rules. You sit out a ball game. You get to watch everybody else perform. You come back. You change things. You get back in line, and you play hard, and good things happen for you.
And they have so far in the first half for Gulf Coast, leading 34-0. The band from Hinds is on the field right now, so we'll hear them. Those of you listening on 103.1 FM, WOSM, you'll be able to hear Hinds' band as well as the Band of Gold do their halftime show. For those of you watching streaming video on MGCCCBulldogs.com, stay tuned for the halftime show, player profiles and chalk talks and all kinds of good stuff, and maybe even some information on Nutri and Gator. Who knows? Here's the halftime show coming up. We'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy halftime, everybody.
There you go, good, squared up, good, man, good.
I mean, it's not really a difference. It's just coaches needed somebody to get down there and play. So I just said I might as well help the team. Biggest difference is like being actually on the line and just, you know, hand placement on the lineman is just more physical. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Worst part is like when offensive linemen, they pull your hair and when they trying to block you. But the best part, you know what I'm saying, they just hang out my helmet. You know, it looks swag.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
All over the South, marching bands are tuning up and gearing up to go for the gold at the 13th Annual Gold Medal Classic hosted by Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. On Saturday, October 6th, A.O. May Memorial Stadium comes alive with the South's premier marching band festival and competition. Trophies in 8 different categories are up for grabs, including the coveted Overall Spirit Award. So come join us at Gulf Coast October 6th as we strike up the band at the Gold Medal Classic.
Hi, I'm Chad Huff, Offensive Coordinator here at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. What I'd like to do with you today here is share a little insight on how we go about developing our offensive game plan here at Gulf Coast Community College. There's a lot that goes in, and there's a lot involved, a lot of time and effort that's going into it, but we feel like what we do gives our kids the best chance and us coaches a chance to be successful. If you look right here to the right of me here, this is what we call our personnel board. This is our formations. Each week, what we like to do is we'll break down generally 3 to 4 films on a defense, and then we'll take those tendencies and we'll put them on the board here. Those are your normal down and distance. We start off with 1st and 10s, and then we'll start off with our 2nd and mediums. And so what you see up here is you'll see these are our units: rabbits, light, open, and pro. These are our formations and units. This is, you see rabbits is our 4 wide. Light units are 2 backs, 3 receivers, and then we'll get into a little tight end, 3 receivers, 1 back, and then a big majority of our offense is thrived on a tight end, 2 receivers, and 2 backs. And so what we'll do is once we break the opponent down, and Coach Campbell and I are in here, and we'll sit here and we'll start, how are they going to line up the doubles? How are they going to line up to us? And 2 backs, 3 receivers. How are they going to line up to us out of pro twins with one running back? And each week it's different. Offensively, one formation, one play may be good one week, and then obviously another week it could be totally different. And we spend a lot of our time sitting here figuring out what's going to give us the best chance to be successful on any given run play or any given pass play. And obviously, as you can see, different teams bring different pressures, and that's what you got to have a plan for. You may be able to throw the football out of this formation the week before, but then this particular week here, they bring a lot of pressure from different areas. You may have to change and adjust and formation it up to give yourself a chance to be successful. And then, this is our offensive menu right here. This is what we look at. This is where we develop basically our game plan by looking over at our formation board. Coach Campbell develops his, obviously this is the run game you can look at, and this is what Coach Campbell used for practice. We're not going to obviously practice anything that we're not going to use during the game, so we'll look at what's going to be our best way to run inside zone, what's going to be the best way to run our power, what's going to be the best way to run our wide zone sweeps and counters. And then that's where we'll look at and get the best formations for that particular run, and then that's what we'll script during inside all week. We're not, like I said earlier, we may be a totally different formation the week before, but obviously this week, depending on what the defense has given us, it could change. And we've got to make sure if we're going to run the wide zone out of 2 backs, 3 receivers, then we're going to go back over here and we're going to look, okay, here's their defenses. All right, we've got to make sure we give them a Sam at C or a Sam at B. We've got to make sure, Coach, we're doing a good job of giving them all the looks for that one particular play to be successful. And then we'll look at play action off the runs. Now what's going to be our play action off the runs we're running this week, you know? If we're going to be running a lot of power, then we're going to have some power play action. If we're going to run wide zone, we need some wide zone play action. And then we'll develop a play action menu based again off our formations, based off what we're going to run offensively, and again using our formation board, our tendency board. We got to make sure that, you know, for our protection, and like Coach Campbell for those O-linemen, he does a great job of making sure that we give the quarterback enough time and enough space to give ourselves a chance to be successful. Then we'll move to our situational board, which obviously this would be our 1st and 10, regular down and distance runs, which we've kind of discussed, but we'll take those and, you know, what Coach Campbell, what's your favorite runs? What you like to run here? So we'll make sure we put down our favorite runs, favorite formations, and our checks off of, depending on what the defense is giving us. We may have one run that I'd run check. Here, 1st and 10 passes, obviously the same situation, you know, play action, sprint out, some drop back, quick game, but stuff that we've been working all week, and it's looked good, and we've successfully executed the plays. Then we'll make sure we put them on here.
The guys executed well for first game on the road, especially after the hurricane. And I was real pleased with the way, more than anything else, the way that we protected the football in the run game, and Clint and Quentin did a great job of protecting the football in the passing game. You know, that's the biggest stat is the turnover battle, and the guys did a great job of executing. Up front, we blocked well, protected the quarterback, and you know, our receivers made plays, tailbacks made plays, and quarterbacks did a great job of giving them the football.
I was really pleased with the way we played. Not satisfied, but pleased. We played really hard. Some guys got tired early, which I told them I wasn't going to complain about that because they were playing hard, and we did make things happen. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of freshmen that are starting and that are impact players, and you know, Danny, our trainer's biggest problem right now is diaper rash. We're so young. But these guys are picking it up fast. They've got a great attitude. Got good leadership, and for example, Brandon Kill and Dawson Wells and Travis Taylor and Hartzog and Conway. We just got good leadership out of those guys, and added with those freshmen, we look forward to See what the future brings. Anybody, freshman, any year player, you never know how they're going to respond, and that's a big key to how successful we are. We're very talented, got a very talented young group. We do much more than they ever did in high school, coverages and schemes and blitzes and so forth. As a coach, you're scared to death because you don't know how they're going to respond and live bullets. And I'm very pleased with these guys this past week, and they've had a really good week this week to correct the mistakes we made, so we feel really good about our future.
Hey, let's use this quarter to get better right here. Full tracks, full power tracks on them inside zones.
Defensively, did an outstanding job of running to the football and creating turnovers, setting the offense up with great field position, and those are the things that we need to continue to impress upon.
At Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, it's like this. High school graduates can take classes close to home that transfer easily to universities. The convenience and flexibility of online classes give students of all ages the opportunity to earn a degree. Apply online and chat live with an admissions specialist or visit us on Facebook. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, celebrating academic excellence for 100 years.
And back here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium, it's halftime with Gulf Coast leading Hinds 34-0. Now for some more halftime enjoyment, let's go down to the field and listen and watch as the Band of Gold does their halftime show. And if you watched on MGCCC Bulldogs.com or were listening, the Band of Gold outdid themselves here at the halftime performance, finishing off with little Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons there in the stands, and a trumpet solo by band director Del Trotter. It doesn't get much better than that. That was kind of fun.
That was pretty good. Now, out of 57 years of me watching this, I've never seen him come up in the stands like that before. That was new.
I've never seen that either, but they did it, and the crowd really enjoyed it. And hats off to Del and Heather Spicer and Sean Cady, the Band of Gold directors, and, of course, the Perkettes as well. 34-0 Gulf Coast leading Hinds at halftime. Recap the scoring for you real quick, and we'll give you some stats as well. First quarter, 10-24, Clint Hatton to DeQuil Williams, a beautiful pitch and catch, 70 yards, making it 6-0. The PAT was missed. About 6 minutes later, Hatton hit Williams again in the back of the end zone to make it 13-0 Bulldogs. In the second quarter, Byron Nettles scored from 8 yards out, making it 20-0 Gulf Coast. Midway through the second quarter, Byron Nettles on a 16-yard run for a score that was a thing of beauty, making it 27-0 Gulf Coast. Then on the last play of the first half, Hatton hit DeQuil Williams for 47 yards on a quasi-Hail Mary, we'll call it, because it really wasn't a Hail Mary. It was a, it was a route, I guess. But whatever the case, it's 27-0 or 34-0 Gulf Coast over Hinds. We'll give you some stats. Byron Nettles, 10 rushes, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. DeQuil Williams, 3 catches, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns for DeQuil. DeAdrian Terry, 2 catches for 40 yards. And Clint Hatton, 7 of 9, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So that's pretty efficient for the Bulldogs. All in all, 395 yards of total offense in the first half alone. The only way you can describe that, Jimmy, is domination.
And, we've been seeing it game in and game out. But I think tonight in the long ball, I think Clint looks better tonight on the long ball than I've seen him in the other 2 previous games. He did hit that one opener, the season opener where he hit it dead on. But to hit a pass like he hit right at the last play in the half, to hit it on target, and like you said, it was not a Hail Mary. It was an actual route. He was in double coverage. He put the ball right where it had to be, and, just a great job of Williams running down and catching the ball. But he's just so sharp. I mean, you have to credit the offensive line. They've given him a pocket to throw the ball out of, and he has to move a little bit, and he's learned that he can, when he needs to be, to step out of that pocket and go to an area to give his receivers time to get open. But you just see him growing up every ball game.
Yeah, that's sophomore leadership. Last year, he may have tried to make a play where there wasn't one there. A mistake could have happened, something like that. This year, he's been pretty close to being flawless. He did have that fumble last week and an interception, but so far for Clint, he has thrown 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. You can't ask for much better than that from your starting quarterback. Clint Hatton, the sophomore from Wiggins, doing a great job leading the Bulldog offense. So it's 34-0. I think we'll expect Coach Campbell to really rely on that running game, and as we talked about, just those waves and waves of running backs. Eli Hughes, JoJo Snell, Anton Thornton, Byron Nettles. I think we're going to see that running game just go and go. And what does Hinds do? D'Angelo comes in, has an interception, sacked a couple of times. He's ineffective. They bring in their backup quarterback, didn't do anything as well. Hinds has just got to be demoralized here. Being down 28-0 last year, of course, they came back and made it a ball game. 34-0 at halftime. You got to wonder if what kind of fight is left in the Hinds Eagles.
Well, they're kind of shocked. We talk about you can't really tell the speed on film. You can see these guys are pretty quick, but you can't tell it till you get up there and play against it. I believe Hinds underestimated how quick Gulf Coast really is.
And everybody has this season. I mean, the Bulldogs are just built for speed, built for turf. You can almost call them the JUCO's greatest show on turf so far this season. They've been scoring via the pass, via the run, whatever way, and you want to get the ball. The Bulldogs have done it, and they will receive the second half kickoff.
Talking to Coach Campbell before the game, one thing that he stressed was, he says, I want my team to come out in the third quarter and really get after them. I want 4 quarters of football. And remember, he told us last week at the end that he didn't feel like his team has played 4 full quarters yet.
And somewhere along the line, that's going to be important. As the Hinds Eagles come on the field, you see Xavier Bingham there getting ready to receive the kickoff. Xavier had a terrific game last week playing special teams for the Bulldogs. Eli Hughes is also back there. Gulf Coast in that first half, 9 first downs. Hinds had 7. Hinds had 5 penalties. Gulf Coast had 6, and Hinds turned the ball over once. So Gulf Coast this season is +7 in the giveaway takeaway ratio. As you see the crowd getting settled in for the second half here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium. Barring a huge comeback by Hinds, this would be the Bulldogs' 16th straight home win. So the Bulldogs like being in the friendly confines of A.L. May Memorial Stadium. They'll be traveling left to right here in the third quarter. Pate Demuth, the Hinds kicker, ready to boot this one away as we're about to get going. The second half here between Gulf Coast and Hinds as Demuth kicks it away. It's going to be taken at the 5 by Bingham. Bingham to the 20. He's got some room across the 25 to the 30, down the sidelines and run out of bounds just across the 40 to the 45. So another nice job by Xavier Bingham on special teams.
I like the way he ran over that guy that tackled him right here at the 45-yard line. He didn't try to sidestep him. He tried to go over him.
So Gulf Coast will set up in terrific field position, enjoying a 34-0 lead over the Hinds Eagles. Gulf Coast in their gold rush, all gold with navy blue headgear. Hinds in all white and white helmets. 1st and 10, Clint Hatton at quarterback. He gives up the middle, or keeps it, and the option, Hatton, plenty of room across the 50, across the 40, and down to the 36-yard line. So right out of the gate, the nice fake by Clint Hatton moves the chains, moves the ball into Hinds territory. Good job by Clint.
That just surprises the heck out of me to see him fake that ball inside, keep it on the quarterback keeper around the left side like that. Nobody was out there. There's a flag down. I guess we didn't see it.
Maybe that's why he was so open over there, and I believe that was a holding penalty. So wipe out that first down.
Well, they marked us off. Had to be a holding penalty down there, down the field somewhere, because it brought it back. It's going to be, well, they're blowing the whistles again. Right now they got it marked 1st and 1.
They'll talk about it and figure out where it's going to be. But yeah, a nice play call right out of the gate for Gulf Coast. Hatton can run the ball. He did a great job with that last year. Really hasn't had to run it too much this season, but when he does, he's been effective.
Would you say he has what you call deceiving speed?
Yeah.
He really doesn't look, in the pocket moving around that fast, but he does generate pretty well and gets out there and I think he takes the ball up the field real good.
6'2", 200 pounds is Clint Hatton. So it's 1st and 6. Ball just at midfield. Now the bubble screen set up to Tyrone Williams. Williams across midfield, and they're going to mark him down for no gain. It looked like his knee hit the turf, and in college, you can't advance after your knee goes down, and it looks like that's what happened. We'll take a look here on the replay, and yeah, his knee was down. It'll be 2nd and 8. He'll actually lose a couple. He made the catch, but in so, his knee hit the turf, and it'll be 2nd and 8. Opening moments here of the third quarter. Gulf Coast up big, 34-0. 3 touchdown passes to DeQuil Williams and 2 runs by Byron Nettles. Hatton in the gun, takes the snap, out to Williams, got some blocks on the screen across the 45. Here goes Tyrone across the 40, tripped up as he gets to the 35, but that will be a Gulf Coast first down, and you can see Tyrone Williams now getting into the act.
Well, he had more, but a good shoestring tackle at the 35-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will have it, 1st and 10.
Quickly they come to the line. I think that might have saved a touchdown as we see it on replay. 1st and 10 from the Hinds 36. DeQuil Williams lined up far left. Hatton fakes it, keeps it again. Another flag comes in. This one's coming back on a hold, and Hatton does a good job again, but once again, it's all for naught.
I believe this is our wide receiver on the far side. He's having to come back and crack on the inside to hit the linebacker, and he's hitting him from the backside.
And it is a hold, and it will come back.
Yeah, they're going to call it on the wide receiver, number 17.
That's DeAdrian Terry.
and he parks it over here on the bench. You know, that's what we've had 3 penalties now as we come out here in third quarter.
And Coach Campbell doesn't like that. It is a little sloppy, but when you're up 34-0, you can't complain too much. 1st and 20 now from the Hinds 46. Hatton takes the snap, gives up the middle, and hammered is Byron Nettles. Coming up from his D-line position is Rashawn Broussard, a freshman from Lake Charles. Shot the gap that time and made a nice tackle on Nettles.
You don't corner him up too many times, but that time he got inside on him and got him before he got started.
2nd and 23. So Byron actually lost 3 that time. The ball on the Hinds 49. Gulf Coast leading 34-0. 2 running backs behind Hatton. We've seen this formation a couple of times. Now they give up the middle. That's Thornton. Got some running room before he's brought down at the 46. He picked up 3. So it'll be 3rd and 20 coming up for Gulf Coast.
Well, they tried the dive play to the right side of the center. Picked up 5 yards, 3rd and 20, so the Bulldogs possession time here. Now do you go to head for the flags or the pole, or are you just going to try to get it in some position and go for it on 4th down, try to get half of it back maybe? I've never seen Coach Campbell go for half of it. No. He usually tries to get it all.
No. They're going to line up Williams in the slot here on the right. Grayson Chambliss flanks him. Now on play action, Hatton in trouble, steps up in the pocket, and trips right at the line of scrimmage. He had a little bit of daylight to run, but good pursuit by the 2 best linemen for Hinds. That would be Dontrell Hyman and Rashawn Broussard.
We had covered up receivers that time. We only had 2 in the route. We had one that he could have kicked out to, but he, like you said, he was knocked off his feet before he got out there, so they were covered up well. We're going to have to punt it away.
Zach Pinkerton back to punt at his own 37-yard line. Gulf Coast leading 34-0 here in the 3rd quarter. And before Pinkerton could get the punt off, which is a beautiful one, flags come in.
He's from Cleveland, Mississippi, and his parents, I'll tell you how devoted they are to his success at being a football player. They booked 4 rooms for each week that we have a home game for down here in Wiggins. So they come and spending time in Wiggins to make sure that they get here to ALMA to watch him play. So, and every game we've been on the road, they've been with him.
I think I saw his dad filming before the game as Pinkerton, this punt, not as productive, but gets a great bounce. It'll roll all the way inside the 10. He got the punter's bounce, and Gulf Coast will down it at the 5. Great job by the Bulldog special team. It wasn't a thing of beauty, but it'll go in the box score as a double.
Boy,
if you're in the baseball.
In stats, man, that's just going to look like a great job. What a booming punt.
And you get that roll like that, it helps. And I think he deserves that. He got off a booming punt the first time. Of course, we had the penalty. And you see Xavier Bingham down there with Snell. So Hinds gets the ball for the first time here in the 3rd quarter. And up the middle, a huge run by Jabari Baker. Baker all the way out to the 26-yard line. A huge hole right up the middle. And if Hinds has been successful with anything, it's been that running play up the middle. That takes them out of the shadow of their goalpost and out to the 26 and a first down. Hinds trying to get some tempo going. They give up the middle again to Baker. He has a hole out to the 31, and back-to-back runs for Jabari Baker. Brings it all the way from the 5 out to the 31.
There's that helmet roll again. One of the dogs.
Boyd coming off, lost his helmet. Damian Gaines in at nose guard. Give up the middle to Baker again. This time Brandon Keel meets him after a gain of about 4, so it'll be 3rd and short coming up for the Eagles.
Good read by Keel. He saw the dive play coming. He got in, stopped him, 36-yard line, so it's 3rd down.
Actually,
that's
they gave
the first down. They did.
Yeah.
They did.
And that'll move the chains. Back-to-back first downs for the Eagles. Now a play action. It's Nelson, and the pass is caught by Morales. Morales takes it across the 45 to the 47, and that'll be close to another Hinds first down. Quadarius Morales from Boynton Beach, Florida.
I believe he got it, Bill. I believe he got a first down. He did. Well, they seem like they got a little fire in their britches, don't they?
It's going to be a tough hill to climb. They're down 34-0. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going. Baker up the middle and takes it out to midfield on first down. 9:16 to go here in the third quarter.
Taylor on the stop that time. Gained about 3 yards. Second down and 7 right at midfield. 34-0 here in the third.
And as fast as this Bulldog team is, you kind of wonder, are they susceptible? As the pass is caught for the first time today in Gulf Coast territory to 35. Quantavious Leslie makes his first catch and another Hinds first down. What I meant to say after I got tongue-tied was if Gulf Coast is susceptible to anything, it might be the run up the middle. Hinds has done some business that way. As you see Leslie making that catch on the slant, and Hinds is in Gulf Coast territory, their first sustained drive of the game. Now a little misdirection. The wide receiver reversed. Desmond Anderson tried to cut it back, and he might have picked up a couple before the Bulldog defense converges.
Bulldogs had a blitz coming from both sides, and that play ran right into it. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs.
8:18 to go. Gulf Coast leading 34-0. Now the bubble screen left to Morales. Morales cuts back and falls down at the 25-yard line, but I believe that's going to be enough for another Hinds first down. So they started back on their 5, and now they're all the way at the Gulf Coast 25 with 8:05 to go, but Hinds is down 34-0. They're probably going to go hurry up the rest of the game. Chris Nelson in at quarterback. Gives up the middle to Ragsdale, and after he picks up a couple, he's brought down by David Howell and Dawson Wells.
Well, it seems like they came out with a little more aggression here in the third quarter. When you're down that much, you're kind of embarrassed when you come out. I'm sure they got some lecturing happened down there in the dressing room, and they're trying to punch one in the end zone. Defense has bent but hadn't broken, so let's see what happens.
2nd and 8 from the Gulf Coast 22. Nelson back to pass, swings it out. The pass is too high. He was looking for Jabari Baker, but Nelson had a little too much on that one, and it'll be 3rd and 8 coming up.
I believe the quarterback saved his life. We had 2 guys coming ready to unleash on that as soon as he caught the ball.
Gulf Coast leading 34-0. As we said, in South Division games since '06, Gulf Coast is 31-2 at home. Or rather, in South Division games, period, they're also 31-2 here at home in a 15-game winning streak. Now the slant over the middle to Morales. Morales down to the 14, and he's going to be close to another Hinds first down. They just hit a quick slant to Quadarius Morales. And let's see where they mark it. And it is, I believe,
it is
a first down.
We
12th first down for Hinds.
Had the safety blitz called again, just couldn't get to the quarterback on time. He throws a slant.
Eagles now at the 14. They give up the middle to Baker, and Baker's down to the 9-yard line. Once again, up the middle. So basically what Hinds is doing, they're running up the middle and they're hitting on bubble screens. They couldn't do any of that in the first half except for one drive where they ran the ball pretty well.
And Steve Davis thought that's what they would do. He said, you know, I think they're going to out and then come in with a run.
They're just executing now. 2nd and 6. Nelson fakes the pass, now runs it up the middle. Nelson takes it down to the 5-yard line. Chris Nelson, the sophomore from Theodore, he started the first 2 games for Hinds, and then Anthony D'Angelo came in and relieved him. D'Angelo started tonight but was ineffective. 6:23 to go here in the third quarter. It's been a very strong drive by Hinds. The problem is they've taken up about 6 or 7 minutes here in the third quarter. We're down 34-0. Makes it tough. Now they give up the middle to Baker. Baker takes it inside the 5 to the 3.
Depending on the spot, that's going to probably give them 1st and goal.
Yeah.
Bulldogs came with everybody that time. I believe we blitzed 3 or 4 guys that time.
It'll be first and goal. Baker again up the middle, breaks a tackle, dives in, touchdown Hinds. The 6th-ranked team in the nation is finally on the board here against Gulf Coast. That was, even though it's 34-0, that was a little too easy, I thought.
Well, I thought they just marched down, and I thought we had a lot of standing around. We didn't attack the run very well. And I would imagine when the defense gets over here, they're going to have to sit down, and Steve's going to have a little talk with them.
Tyler Poe now in to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So 5:54 to go here in the third quarter. Hinds gets on the board, down now 34-7. You know, I doubt it's going to happen, but are we going to see one of those long comebacks again by the Eagles? Remember, we were up 28-zip. Everything was looking great last year. With 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it was a 2-point game.
Yeah, and I don't, you know, not to say it can't happen, but they took a lot of time on that drive coming down. It started at the 10-yard line, 90-yard drive. They looked good coming down with it. Everything they ran worked. And the Bulldog defense didn't attack very well at all through that whole drive. So let's see if we can't get our problems worked out and get back out there in the third quarter.
Well, if there is a problem, it's up the middle right now. Before the season started, Dorsett Davis, the defensive line coach, and Steve Davis, the defensive coordinator, a little worried about who's going to play nose guard. Sherman Boyd's done a nice job. You know, Cortez Hartzog out there. Darius Gaines has done a nice job as well. But so far tonight, Hinds has run the ball pretty well up the middle on the Bulldogs. Now in the kick is DeMuth. And taking it at the 7 is Xavier Bingham, setting up the return to the right, and Bingham is brought down right at the 22-yard line. Good tackle by Damian Blue, and that's where Gulf Coast will set up 34-7. And just as you said, you see the entire defensive line. Steve Davis is over there talking to him.
Well, we're going to get some things worked out. I mean, this is a competitive sport, and we're going to play competitive, and we were not competitive in that drive.
And I think the defensive personnel, they know that. And Coach Davis, Stevan Moore, the gang over there going to get that straightened out. Meanwhile, the offense back on the field. 1st and 10 from their own 22. Clint Hatton, who's going all the way at quarterback. Hinds showing blitz. Now they give. Kicking it outside is Byron Nettles. Breaks a tackle, breaks a couple of more, and takes it all the way out to the 30-yard line. And once again, the shifty Byron Nettles made something out of nothing. There were 2 or 3 guys who had a shot at him. You see him cut back right there and pick up about 5 or 6 extra yards. Nice job by Byron.
He's going to give you your money's worth. I can tell you, this kid does not take a play off.
He picked up 8. It's 2nd and 2. Let's see what the Bulldog offense can do. Now penalty flags will fly. And I believe that was a neutral zone infraction by about 3 Hinds defensive linemen. The one most obvious was DJ Bedingfield.
Give us a first down. Next week we go on the road. I think we have a Saturday game.
Yeah.
Is that not right?
A week from this Saturday, we go to Jones to take on the Bobcats and head coach Ray Perkins.
Isn't that something? Ray Perkins.
Speaking of the Jones Bobcats, they lead Pearl River 20-10 in the third quarter. Interesting. 1st and 10 from the 35 here. Cutting it back. Byron Nettles taking it out to the 38-yard line. He picks up 4 on first down.
Be a good game to go up. Doesn't take you about an hour to go up to Ellisville to see the ball game.
Yeah, that's not a bad trip at all.
2nd down, and we'll call it a long 6.
Officially, it's 2nd and 7. 4:31 to go, third quarter. Bulldogs ahead 24-7. 2 running backs behind Hatton. They give up the middle to Eli Hughes. Hughes across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Now the Bulldogs working on their running game. Give you some more scores here. East Mississippi, no problems with Southwest. They're up at halftime 38-0. Northwest leading Kahoma 30-6 in the fourth quarter. Delta losing to Itawamba 23-0 at halftime. Itawamba trying to go 3-0. Itawamba, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, and I will, yes, they are ranked number 20 in the nation, so the Indians getting some love nationally. 3rd and 3 for Gulf Coast here at the 42. Hatton takes the snap, and falling down right at the line of scrimmage is Nettles, and Hinds converges. He had nowhere to go that time, and the Bulldogs will have to punt.
Well, we didn't advance it too far. We got a first down. It's going to be 4th down and 7, and the Bulldogs going to have to kick it away. We did move it a little bit, but I don't know. The Dogs seem like we just sputtering here in the 3rd quarter again, back kind of like what we did at Coahoma again with a big lead.
Colin leading East Central 20-10 in the 3rd quarter, and Holmes blowing out Northeast 34-0, and flags fly once again on the punt. Pinkerton got off a nice one, but I believe it's going to be false start against the Bulldogs, and that's penalty number 10. And now you start to wonder, that is a concern. Coach Campbell was right when you go from a few things to clean up to just downright sloppy.
Well, he's shouting at the official. The official just made Coach Campbell come off the field, and he's just trying to figure out what his team's doing right now. You know, it's aggravating.
So, Pinkerton on his own 20 gets the punt away, and that is a beauty. Taking it on the fair catch at the 30 is Trevin Chapman, and that's where Hinds will set up. 2:47 to go 3rd quarter, and Gulf Coast up 34-7. As Jimmy mentioned earlier, Gulf Coast will go on the road a week from Saturday to take on Jones. That game is a 7 o'clock start in Ellisville. You can listen on 103.1 FM, WOSM, and watch again here on MGCCCBulldogs.com. Still got some work to do here. 1st and 10 from the 30 for Hinds. Nelson throws a bubble screen out to Morales, who breaks 2 tackles and is run out of bounds over at the 40-yard line. Morales did a Byron Nettles move over there and picked up some extra yards, and I believe that's going to be a Hinds first down.
Kids gotten excited here in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs miss a tackle after about a 5-yard gain. This tackle right here you see on the replay if you're watching it screaming. And there you can see he misses 2 tackles the Bulldogs do before they knock him out right at the first down.
Now running the ball is Baker. He breaks a couple of tackles and takes it out to the 43-yard line before he's brought down by the Bulldog defense. Brandon Keel in on that with Cavellis Luckett.
You know, Bill, they going.
And Travis Taylor, sorry.
They're going. They're lining up
no huddle
quick.
The rest of the game, and they are.
They're going quick.
2nd and 7 from the 43 with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They fake the handoff, throw the screen out to Morales, has a little bit of room, sets up his blockers, takes it across midfield to the 49-yard line, and it's another Hinds first down. Cavellis Luckett and Trey Wofford in on the stop.
Well, they're moving this thing about 6 or 8 yards at a pop.
Now, if they keep doing this the rest of the game, we're going to have a ball game at the end. Somewhere somebody's got to make a play here on the Bulldog defense. 1st and 10 from the Gulf Coast 49. Nelson keeps it, got room on the left side. He's breaking free, and Christopher Nelson is gone. Touchdown, Hinds. I think we got a ball game here. It's deja vu from last year with the extra point. They've scored quickly here in the 3rd quarter twice.
Well, it sucked us in on defense that time. He rode the fake inside, kept it outside, broke a tackle again. We're not tackling at all. I mean, there is a flag at the 10-yard line.
What are y'all doing? Let's go!
You hear that fan right there.
Not very happy, was it? There is a
He's
flag.
got a point, though.
I don't know whether they're talking or they're conversing. I don't know if it's a celebration deal or what. I don't know exactly.
This is such a game of momentum. You're up 34-0. Everything's great. Hinds had a drive there. We basically go 3 and out, and then they break on the big play. That's their MO. They kind of lull you to sleep. That's why you can't go to sleep on these guys. Remember, we've said it 10 times already. The Bulldogs were up 28-0 last year, ended up winning 35-26 to win the South State Division title. All right, let's see what the penalty is. Okay, they got the extra point, or they haven't kicked the extra point. I thought he said it was good.
He said the touchdown was good.
Oh, the touchdown was good. Okay, I didn't hear him. Thanks for clarifying that. Now on the extra point is Poe.
But I didn't hear what the infraction was.
It was a legal substitution. They may have had too many men in the huddle on the extra point is what I think it was. And Coach Campbell wants to know what's up with that as well. Here we go. Wait, the ref is coming over. Both of them tell Coach Campbell exactly what happened.
He's confused like I am. Because that flag went down right after the touchdown was scored. And if there's too many men on the field, you got to bring that ball back.
That's what common sense would tell you.
I don't know. He's trying to get his explanation. And, you know, Coach Campbell is as well as anybody about rules in the NJCAA.
He's on the board, actually, this year. Let's see.
Well, he may get this rule changed then.
Yeah.
He don't seem to like it very well. He threw his hands up like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know, deep down inside, he realizes this team is explosive, and they've put up two fairly quick ones. That first drive took a while, but the second one very quick. Poe in for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:33 to go in the third, two quick touchdowns by Hinds cuts the lead to 20. And in these days of spread offenses in college football, that's really not that big of a lead if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. 34-14 now. And if the Bulldogs want to put these guys away, a time-consuming, soul-draining drive would be nice here.
Well, they're going to have to put some offense together to get the defense fired back up because the defense is flat since the third quarter started, and then the offense is what we feed off of, so they're going to have to move the ball down, put some points on the board to get the defense fired back up.
It was all Gulf Coast in the first half, putting up 34 unanswered points. Now here in the third quarter, Hinds has put up 14 unanswered points to make the score 34-14. Not time to panic by any means, but it is a little unnerving knowing the big play capability of this Hinds team, ranked number 6 in the nation. Whereas Gulf Coast ranked number 4.
And by the way, they handled this game in the first half. If they come out and just continue to go exactly how they went in the first half here in the second half, you see why they're number 4, if not to be higher. But, you know, people that looks at this, watches these films nationally and sees the letdown by the Gulf Coast Bulldogs here in the third, has a tendency to say, well, they're not a four-quarter team.
Getting back to what you said, Coach Campbell said about playing 4 complete quarters. Now Demuth with the pooch kick taken by Grayson Chambliss. He calls for the fair catch at the 25-yard line, so that's where Gulf Coast will start. Leading 34-14, but needing some momentum here to take control of this contest once again. You see the folks across the way that drove down here from Raymond in the Jackson area. They're kind of excited now. They know they've got some new life, even though the Bulldogs are still up by 20. But as we said, I wouldn't write this thing away just yet.
Well, you got to come back. You got to answer with a score. I wouldn't think that the Bulldogs. I would think the Bulldogs are going to start airing this thing out now.
1st and 10 at the 24. Hatton in at quarterback. 3 touchdown passes in the first half. 2 wideouts to the right. They give, this time it's Byron Nettles on the sweep, and Byron takes it across the 30 out to about the 31. So a nice run on first down by Byron Nettles, who's done a terrific job tonight.
Shows how much I know.
Got some good kick-out blocks that time. Thornton leading the way. Out there with Ramsey Sellers, the sophomore. 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain. Hinds showing blitz.
Bulldogs going to check out.
Kill that play and start another one. Plenty of time on the play clock, 12 seconds. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Thornton and Nettles in the backfield. Hatton takes the snap, play action. Now he's in trouble. In the jet wash, gets out of there and is brought down at the 25 and is sacked.
This is not something we've seen any team do to Clint Hatton. We've seen some misfires, but we have not seen him get to him like he's been gotten to here in the last couple of possessions that the Bulldogs have had.
And you hear how quiet it is all of a sudden here on the near sideline. The Bulldog fans are wondering what's going on. Hatton just got lost in the pocket. It collapsed and he had nowhere to go. Ran into Ramsey Sellers, then ran into the Hinds defense. It's 3rd and 8 from the 26. Bulldogs got to get something going here with 23 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Hatton now on the quarterback draws, got some room, takes it out to the 30. He's got the corner to the 35, 1st down and more, and run out of bounds near midfield. A terrific play by Clint Hatton, and Coach Campbell over on the sideline wanting a personal foul. He's not going to get it, but he is going to get a much-needed 1st down as we wrap up the 3rd quarter.
Well, that's a good play coming out of what just happened, and what a great time to have that play called. Clint did a good job showing that speed, getting outside. We talked about earlier, deceiving speed, but when he needs it, he turns it on.
And that is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. A good one for Hinds, but the problem is they're still down 20. Gulf Coast will have the ball and a 1st down to start the 4th quarter as they lead 34-14. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back with the 4th quarter here on Bulldog Live and 103.1 FM WOSM. Back here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium, Bill Snyder, Jimmy Davis, Jeff Shepard on the sidelines. Gulf Coast leading 34-14 over Hinds. The Bulldogs up 34-0 at halftime. Hinds got a couple of touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs trying to answer. They've got a 1st and 10 with the ball on their own 48-yard line. Bulldogs now going right to left in the 4th quarter. Here on Bulldog Live and 103.1 FM WOSM. Hatton takes a snap on 1st down. He's going to keep it this time. He's got nowhere to go. Dontrell Hyman comes in behind him to bring down Hatton before he could get going on that quarterback draw.
They didn't fool anybody that time on the play fake. He came straight in, followed him into the pile, and caught him from behind. He'll actually lose a yard.
Roderick Ragsdale also came in on that, so it's 2nd and 11 after the yard loss. Hatton calling signals now. They'll revamp. Coach Campbell brings in a check on that play. Hatton giving up the middle. That's Byron Nettles. He's got room across midfield and out to the 45, so he gets the lost yardage back and then some, so it'll be 3rd and 4. Just a nice run up the middle by Byron Nettles, who's done a terrific job tonight.
It seems like the interference that the offense is running into is they're pinching in their outside linebackers and blitzing them on every play. They rotate both sides.
3rd and 4, and now penalty flags will fly, and that's going to be a Bulldog 1st down, I believe, as Rashawn Broussard got a jump right there, and he did, and that's a Bulldog 1st down, so they did it the easy way. 7th penalty for Hinds tonight, and that's a big one. It moves the chains for Gulf Coast as we start the 4th quarter.
That keeps the drive going without having to run a play. Big mistake by Hinds.
1st and 10 from the 41. DeQuil Williams, DeAdrian Terry split out to the left. Nettles, the running back. Hatton takes the snap, up the middle, Nettles, big hole across the 35 and down to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 9 for Byron Nettles. And what you were talking about, Jimmy, those linebackers coming in, that opens the middle wide open.
Well, that's the same thing that what Steve Campbell's seeing. That's the same thing that our offensive coordinator is seeing, and the Bulldogs are going to go attack that because there's nobody there. They're pinching in from the outside, and that's going to stop that and give him time to throw the ball.
2nd and 1 from the 32. Anton Thornton in now at running back for Gulf Coast. And flags fly, and I believe somebody jumped early on the Bulldog line. Let's see. It was a false start.
They're going to call that on Williams, but they changed this rule a while back. You can't go in and cause an offensive lineman or receiver to jump off sides by your movement toward him. That's what happened just then. He came in the neutral zone and backed out and caused the movement.
Well, they did call it, and that's the 11th penalty on the Bulldogs, so it's 2nd and 6 from the Hinds 37. Bulldogs up by 20, 34-14 here in the 4th quarter. Hatton making some changes on the line. 4 seconds on the play clock. Gets the play off, gives it up the middle to Anton Thornton. Thornton's loose to the 20, kicks it outside to the 15 and run out of bounds at the 10. But that's a Bulldog first down. Anton Thornton doing some business.
Well, we're kind of doing what they did. You notice that they ran right up the middle, right off guard on both sides. That time we went off right guard, but the same thing Hinds did to us, we're doing to them because of the aggressive play of their outside linebackers.
Here's where the rate of attrition comes in for the Hinds defense. You saw Thornton make that big run. He comes out. Nettles comes back in as the Bulldogs have it 1st and goal from the 10. Trying to add to their 34-14 lead. So far, great response by the Bulldog offense after Hinds scored 2 quick touchdowns. Hatton takes the snap up the middle to Nettles. Nettles down to about the 6, where it'll be 2nd down. The Bulldogs in no particular hurry. They have a 20-point lead, 11:56 to go in regulation.
Well, you need to just keep winding that clock. Let her roll, let her roll. As long as we can keep running between the tackles like we're doing, they're not going to put it up. Hinds tried to shift their defense and put more pressure on Hatton to force the Bulldogs to do something different. Well, we did. We changed, and it worked.
2nd and goal from the 7. Nettles the back. Williams and Terry out to the left. Give up the middle. It's Byron again. Byron near the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Good move inside after he got the ball. Played off the left guard block, then turned it to the right. When in the end zone, he pulled some tacklers in for the touchdown.
The 3rd touchdown tonight for Byron Nettles. I have this ESP thing going. Every time I select a player to profile on the blitz, he blows up and has a huge game. Taylor did it last week, and this week it's Byron Nettles. Well, a nice answer drive by the Bulldogs.
Now, if this don't fire your defense up to get out there and do their job.
And now in the jumbo package, the Bulldogs going for 2, and they get it as Thornton on the dive gets the 2-point conversion. So that makes it 42-14, Gulf Coast.
Now, wait just a minute. Are they saying that the previous play was not a touchdown? And this is just now going to be the point after? This official signal touchdown.
Yes, he did. That's why I called it.
I saw him do it, but that's not what happened. What happened was we just scored the touchdown after he signaled touchdown. I've never seen one signal touchdown and they talk him out of it.
Maybe he was doing jumping jacks.
Wow.
Anyway, all right, so Anton Thornton gets the touchdown.
Here's some more flags. That's got to be a substitution thing. Nobody moved. Too many players or something.
That's Anton's 4th touchdown of the season. Goes 1 yard out. And another penalty. They move him back 5, yeah.
Oh, they had too many out there. They had 13 players out there.
Well, if you're going to go overboard, you might as well throw as many as you can.
Well, 2 went off. Now 1's coming back, so maybe they only had 12.
They got guys running around all over the place.
Bill, I have never seen in college ball an official call a touchdown like that and then change his mind. Now, when you go replay it, we're putting our offense back out there.
They're going to run jumbo again. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They got to snap it pretty quick. This is nuts. Now Hatton fumbles, whistles, and gosh, now flags come in. They couldn't even get set is what the problem was.
Kind of a train wreck. That's what it was.
It was.
We were going to kick it, and then all of a sudden we decided we weren't. I thought we had to delay a game myself. I didn't think we got the snap off, but we're probably going to kick it now.
We need a penalty wheel up here. You know, just spin it and see what comes up.
Yeah,
so
Coach.
the extra point will be from Stephen Broccoli, and it's going to be more like a long field goal. It'll be a 25-yard extra point attempt. The good news out of all that is the Bulldogs got a touchdown.
We finally got one. We did. But you have to watch these guys. Now Steve Campbell back out on the field. Oh, he wanted it moved.
Yeah, why'd they move it? It's got to be in the middle.
That's right.
Hey, even I know that.
He's not, right now, Steve Campbell's not real happy right now. You wouldn't want to hand the mic to him right now for an interview.
I don't think so. Don't think that's a good idea. Broccoli in for the 24-yard extra point, and he drills it right through. So after all that, the Bulldogs extend the lead again to 41-14 over Hinds. We thought it was Nettles who scored. It wasn't. It was Anton Thornton on the next play. And now looking back, great job by the Bulldogs realizing, hey, they're not giving us the 6, so we'll go in there and take it. They put in the jumbo package, and Anton Thornton scored his 4th touchdown of the season. A great job responding to
I thought
the touchdowns behind.
Since the official called it, I didn't even look at it on replay. And now I wish I would have looked at it on replay because we could have seen exactly why they blew him down short of the goal line.
Well, unlike major college football and the pros, TV doesn't dictate what goes on the field.
I tell you, these guys, I don't know.
They need to start watching us.
This Waffle House bunch. That's all going to meet at Waffle House after the game. So you go on neutral hunting. You think maybe get close to Christmas, you know, Christmas shopping. Things a little tough this year. You may have to think about neutral hunting this year.
Bennett Rimmer, as you see Broccoli about to kick it away, one of our cameramen, taken by Kowalski Tenner. Tenner out to the 20. He's got some room across the 30, across the 35, across midfield, still on his feet, and I believe he stepped out of bounds, and he did in Gulf Coast territory at the 46-yard line, but a good run back by Kowalski Tenner.
Well, we had 2 blocking the backs at the 25. They didn't get called. But a good run back. Now you're going to give him the football on your side of the 50-yard line. Actually, it's going to be spotted at the 29-yard line.
Now, why, if he, okay,
Now
Tenner ran it all the way, so they've got to bring it back because they can't say, oh, wait a minute, he stepped out at no. That's what I was going to say. I was about to throw a flag from up here because you can't do that.
You're going to launch one, huh, buddy?
I was. First and 10 from the 46, play action. Nelson going deep, and he's got a man, and that's a Hinds touchdown. That is Quantavious Leslie, one play, 46 yards. They get their touchdown back.
I see why this team is what it is. I didn't see it in the first half. I said, how in the world can this be the 6th-ranked team? I now see why they're the 6th-ranked team in the country.
Last week, Leslie had 2 catches for 120-something yards, and there they hit on a 46-yarder. And just like that, Hinds is within 20 again. As Poe comes in for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So it's back to a 20-point lead for Gulf Coast, now 41-21 with 10:45 to go in the contest and regulation.
Well, we got to put a drive together again. This just brings back memories of last year when we get in those shoot matches with Scuba, East Mississippi, and all these high-scoring games. I just have those,
yeah,
you know, those one-play touchdowns that they're so noted for that cover 50, 60, 70 yards. And
well, this is going to give the Gulf Coast coaching staff plenty of coachable moments because we've had them definitely in the second half, proving that you can't let up on anybody, especially in this league. Everybody's got talent, and especially when Hinds is ranked number 6. You saw that Quantavious Leslie, he's their big play guy. They hit him on a slant. He was wide open. A great pass by Chris Nelson, who has come in this week out of the bullpen, much like D'Angelo did for Hinds last week. So 10:45 to go in the game. The lead is back down to 20 for Gulf Coast, 41-21. And you can see the swagger in the Hinds players. They still feel like they're in this. Now taking the ball at the 8 is Eli Hughes. Hughes coming up the middle, and Hughes is hammered at the 20 and pushed backwards by the Hinds special teams. And you hear them across the way. They're feeling it.
They are. They're getting a little fire. That's what happens whenever you get those 1-2 play scores. Now, we took some time and went down and finally punched it into the end zone. You want your defense to come out there and take the ball away so you can go ahead and put this game away. And that hasn't happened. They can score in any play just like we can. They're a very quick striking team.
And you see Hughes heading up to the 23-yard line and got hammered right there. So that's where the Bulldogs will start. 10:36 to go in the game. They're up by 20. On the Hinds Eagles, Clint Hatton going all the way at quarterback. Gives on the handoff. That's Nettles kicking it outside. He broke 2 tackles, and after all that, hammered over on the near sideline and might have gotten a yard.
He ran a long ways and took a lot of hits to get a yard. He did. The Bulldogs will be looking at it. They didn't give me his 2nd and 10.
Yeah. 10:26 to go. Gulf Coast leading by 20, but a little precarious here late in the game.
I'm still looking for that deep pass.
Yeah, we haven't tried that since the end of the half. Now, looks like Hinds jumped off sides. Let's see what the call is over here.
We were going deep then because we had single coverage.
Yeah, DeAdrian Terry was over there one-on-one with Kenya Dennis. I think looked like they were going to take a shot over there. That's the 8th penalty on Hinds this evening. Gulf Coast has 12.
20 penalties.
So it's 2nd and 5 after the infraction by Hinds. 9:53 to go now in the contest. Gulf Coast up by 20, 2 wideouts to the right. Nettles in the backfield, and they give to him another big hole. He sidesteps a couple of players and takes it out to the 36-yard line, and that's going to be a Bulldog first down.
Interesting play that time, running right at the attack of where they had their 2 big guys lined up. I noticed they had one over the center and one over the guard side by side, and they ran right at that group of guys, and he just blows it through there.
Yeah, ball control drive here probably puts this thing away. Ball security still at a premium. Gulf Coast turnover free tonight, knock on wood if you're a Bulldog fan. 1st and 10 from the 36 after the first down run by Nettles. And Byron gets the call again and takes it right into the line of scrimmage before he's pushed back. Actually, that's Anton Thornton in on the first down carry, who's done a nice job tonight as well.
Been a different ball game. Hinds would have played like this in the first half, wouldn't it?
Totally different.
They were real flat coming out. I just think they underestimated the speed. They knew we were young, and I think they underestimated the speed of these young wide receivers and running backs.
8:42 to go now. 1st and 10 Gulf Coast, or rather 2nd and 7. Ball on the 37-yard line. 8:33. They're just taking their own sweet time, and why not? They got a 20-point lead. Low snap, but Hatton gets it. Nettles on the draw play maybe picked up a yard, but 3rd down is coming up. Check that. That's Thornton again. My apologies. That's twice I've done that. So it's 3rd and 10. Yeah. 3rd and 9, let's call it.
Bill, if you watch it this time before we snap the ball, they got 7, 8, 9 men in the box. They are going to force Gulf Coast to throw the football.
2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left on 3rd and 9. Hatton's got time. Now he's going to run it, trying to weave his way through the middle of the field, and he's taken down at the 39, a gain of 2, and the Bulldogs will have to punt again. And I'm kind of surprised why they didn't take a shot downfield. It's been successful all game. They haven't even tried to here. Interesting.
Well, Steve's taking some time off the clock, which he is. He's got the 20-point lead. He's trying to protect it. His defense is not playing well, so he's trying to take as much time off incompleted pass would stop the clock. But I am like you. I don't know why we're not throwing the ball at all.
Pinkerton in again to punt and gets a good one away. A nice tight spiral. And making a fair catch at the 23-yard line is Trevin Chapman. That's where Hinds will get it. 7:14 to go. The Bulldogs leading 41-21. Let's see if the defense can step up here.
There's about 52 yards on that punt. Beautiful punt.
Yeah, Pinkerton's done a nice job tonight, as have the Bulldogs special teams, with the exception of one decent run back by Hinds here in the second half. So 1st and 10 from the 23. Chris Nelson in at quarterback. They throw the bubble screen to Morales, bobbles it, then brings it back in. Then he's tackled for a loss. Finished Armstrong leading the way.
Armstrong did a great job. He really did of breaking his tackle over his blocker over there, getting off and getting the tackle. See it on replay. Throws him down, wraps him up, drives him out of bounds.
2nd and 13. Hinds actually lost 3 on that one. 6:47 clock running. Bulldogs leading 41-21. Now Nelson over the middle, and that pass is dropped. And yeah, late flag came in. Finished Armstrong came in a little bit early that time, and they're going to call him for interference, I believe.
You know, I believe he caught that ball too. Let's see if we see it on replay. Here we go.
And Nelson, plenty of time to throw. Yeah, he had all day. And yeah, Armstrong came in a little early, and that's going to be probably an automatic first down, pass interference.
But you don't know with this bunch what they're going to do. Now, here we go. Pass interference.
Yep, automatic first down on the penalty.
Bill, that puts
13th penalty.
Something amazing.
Coach Campbell's not going to like that one bit. 6:30 to go. Hinds has it on the 33, 1st and 10. They're down by 20. Nelson, back to pass. He's going deep. Got a man down there, and it is tipped and incomplete. He was looking for Trevin Chapman. Good coverage that time. Josh Keys and Nigel Green just got enough of it to knock it away. That was close.
Keys closed well, got right just as the ball got there. I thought he had it, boy.
Yeah, I did too.
He was flying.
He had a shot at it.
We're giving this guy too much time to throw the football.
Yeah.
We got to get a rush on him.
Now Nelson, bubble screen out to his running back Ragsdale. Ragsdale trying to get the corner. He does to the 39-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. 6:08 to go, and the Bulldogs leading by 20. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up for the Eagles.
Main thing, that clock's still running under 6 minutes now. I don't think even then, Bill, I don't think we're tackling well here in the second half. We've
definitely been a letdown. And a more up-tempo approach by Hinds. A slant over the middle, caught by Chapman in Gulf Coast territory. He's down to the 41-yard line. Another Hinds first down, 5:39 to go.
Bulldogs playing a deep zone that time, and he finds the deep zone. Good pass reception made for a first down. And we didn't have a man within 10 yards of him when he caught the ball.
Good news is the clock's running at 5:31. The bad news is Hinds is driving again, 1st and 10. They give up the middle to Barker, and Barker's brought down at the 36-yard line after a pickup of about 4.
Good hit in there. A tackle that time made by Moncrief. He really laid a lick, but
one of those freshmen. 2nd and 6. It was a pickup of 4 by Baker, Jabari Baker. Now Nelson has time. Now he's flushed. Now he's running, and he's taken down at the 32-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down.
Quick striking team, just as the Gulf Coast is. This team has came out in the 3rd quarter and really turned it on, and they're driving the ball right down the field. 3rd and a long one for a first down.
4:36 to go. The Bulldogs up by 20. Baker with the first down and more. Spin move across the 20, and Jabari Baker is in for the touchdown, 33 yards.
I think, 3 or 4 broken tackles to go in.
You talk about your tale of two halves here. Jabari Baker.
Wow.
Scores his 4th touchdown of the season with 4:25 to go in the game. Pending the extra point, it's going to be 41-28. And now you're looking at a 2-possession type of situation as the kick is up and good by Poe. 4:25 to go. After the 33-yard touchdown run by Jabari Baker.
Boy, you could write 2 separate books about this ball game. It was all Gulf Coast in the first half, and here in the second half, it's been all Hinds. They've stopped us on offense except for the one scoring play we had.
And how huge is that?
I mean, to stop an offense like what we have, I know we're running the ball a lot. We're not putting it up at all. I know that they're putting 8 men in the box most of the time, at least on first and second down, and that's hard to run against. But we're just not the same team right now that we were in the first half.
And Hinds is showing why they're the number 6 team in the country right now.
They are. They're going to beat some people. There's no doubt about it. They're going. When it's all said, when the dust clears, I believe they're going to. They're going to be one of the teams you're going to have to be reckoned with here at the end of the season.
And if we don't get our act together here with 4:25, who knows what's going to happen here? It's only a 13-point game now.
Yeah, they're scoring at about a minute and a half or 2-minute clip off the clock.
They keep that going. We got trouble here. Now DeMuth, are going to try the onside? They are, and it's bobbled around. I can't tell who's got it at the 48. I believe the Bulldogs have it, and they do. And you got to breathe a sigh of relief that time. Coming up with it is Donovan Smith, I believe.
What a great job that kicker did. I mean, that is picture perfect for an onside kick.
It was, because it went more than 10 yards. It didn't do that high bounce, but it did enough of a bounce. Marlon Pope had his hands on it, and he missed it. But Donovan Smith takes it at the 49, where here's where you put in the kill shot to try to put these guys away. They've had all the momentum except for one Gulf Coast scoring drive here in the second half. 41-28, 4:21 to go. Let's see what happens with the number 4 Bulldogs and the number 6 Eagles. Now on the sweep, JoJo Snell cuts it inside. Snell breaking tackles out to the 46-yard line of Hinds. He picked up 5 as clock winds to 4:10.
Well, JoJo cut it back inside. Good move. You see it on the replay.
Nice kick-out block there by Williams, I believe. So it's 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain. Inside 4 minutes to go. A decent drive here probably puts this thing away. Williams split out left, Terry out to the right. Looks like Eli Hughes in at running back along with Snell. Snell gets it again inside, then outside across the 45 to the 44-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and right around 4 coming up. 3:30 to go, and clock is running.
Same formation. Play ran through a different hole. He was going to take it outside, faked it, and went back in. That's what the play's designed, and that's what he did.
Snell and Hughes come out. Anton Thornton comes in. Yates and Amaker wind up as blockers on the left. Williams, a wide receiver, one-on-one out to the right. Little play action on 3rd and 3. Let's see. Now they're going to give it up the middle to Thornton, who bulls his way.
I think he's short.
Yeah, he is short, maybe for about a yard. They pushed the pile forward, but he didn't go anywhere.
He went in behind Yates. I mean, Yates hit the hole. He was shoving, but they corralled well. Did Steve call the timeout?
No, Hinds did.
Okay.
They're trying to save that clock. 2:55 to go. If they got to hit a quick one, they'd still have a chance here, but there's not much time left. That's the only saving grace, I guess you could say.
Well, I will tell you this. Hinds is not looking for us to throw the ball, and we've got guys that can grab it and pull it down and go. We could really surprise them right here. But I know Steve Campbell's trying to run the clock out and end this ball game.
Yeah, that's one of those risk-reward type of things. The risk is you give them the ball right there in midfield. The reward is you shut this game down. 4th and 2 from the 43. Do you try jumbo here?
Well, he put an extra tackle in out there. I saw him go in the huddle, and Yates comes out. So
they're going jumbo. They're going to try to get this first down. 4th and 2, big play here. 2:55 to go. Gulf Coast up by 13, trying to ice this one. Jumbo package, Thornton in the backfield. Hatton takes the snap, and one of the Hinds linemen jumps off sides, but he got back. He didn't touch anybody. Now they give it to Thornton, who dives over, and he's short. He did not make it.
No, he didn't. But you know, I think that guy, when he came over, I think he bumped our guy. I think he bumped him on the shoulder pads because
it doesn't matter. They didn't call it.
They didn't call it. You're right. And we're going to give him the ball, near midfield.
That came in on the late. You see the replay. He definitely did not make enough yardage for the first down. And it is Hinds football. And that play only ran 2 seconds.
Wow. Buddy, they had 11 guys crammed up in there.
Well, they knew it was coming. All right, let's see what happens here. 1st and 10 from the 43. 2:53 to go. Hinds down by 13, trying to close the gap even further. Hinds, number 6 in the country at 2-0. Gulf Coast, 2-0, ranked number 4. Just another night in the South Division. Now Nelson back to pass, under pressure. Now he runs it, breaks a tackle across midfield and throws it, and that's a flag. He's throwing past the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a penalty, and they're going to lose it down on this.
And that's big.
He was across by a good 2 yards
Easily.
when he threw that ball.
Easily. Big. Big time.
He has to know where he's at on the football field. I know it's exciting right here at the end. They're trying to make the comeback. But he has to know. They got a marker on both sides of the field. He went right by the marker.
This is where Coach Campbell wants that 12th man, the crowd, and the band to get going. 2:43 to go. 2nd and 14 after the penalty from the 40. Nelson pump fakes, now is in trouble, scrambling to his right, still has time, trying to find somebody open, and he does at the Gulf Coast 40, and that's Desmond Anderson. Anderson takes it down to the 34-yard line, and that's a Hinds first down. Well, that time Nelson extended the play and got a first down.
Nelson made that play.
He did.
He gave himself time. Receiver came back to the quarterback like he's taught.
16th first down for Hinds. Clock running, 2:22. Gulf Coast leading 41-28, trying to stop the Eagles on their comeback bid. Nelson back, in trouble. Travis Taylor's going to grab him by the toes. He sacks him.
Travis finally gets him. They're going to have to burn a timeout here.
And they do. They'll have one left. You see Taylor got Nelson by the shoes and brought him down. Big play by Travis.
And he will get credit for a sack because it's just a shade behind the line of scrimmage.
When play resumes, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35 for Hinds. 2:08 to go. The score 41-28. If you're just joining us, you're thinking, well, that's a 13-point lead. The way Hinds has scored in the second half, the urgency is justified.
Yeah, the way we scored in the first half.
Right.
They've jumped in here and done this in the second half to us. Don't forget next Saturday, it's not a Thursday game. Next Saturday night up at Ellisville, Bulldogs take on Jones. 7 o'clock kickoff, is that right?
That is right, in Ellisville. We'll stream that one. It'll be on 103.1 FM, WOSM. Tomorrow night, Ocean Springs takes on Picayune here on 103.1.
Right.
We got to get through this one first. 2nd and 10 from the 35. 2:08 to go. The Band of Gold and the crowd getting cranked up here as the Bulldogs try to finish this thing off. Nelson takes the snap. It's low. He picks it up. That was weird. Now he's in trouble. Got to be a hold there, but they don't call it. Instead, he throws it to Chapman at the 23, and that's going to be a Hinds first down. How is that not a hold back there?
How do you not call that a hold? It's right in front of him.
I mean, it's as blatant as it gets.
Wow.
No call, though, and another first down for the Eagles, who have shown some serious grit here in the second half, down 34-0 at halftime. They could have packed it in They're not. 1:47 to go, first down. Nelson going deep's got a man open, and it's just overthrown. He had Chapman out there, but closing in was Derek Moncrief to break that one up. A little less on that, and Moncrief either knocks it away or picks it off.
I think we had busted coverage over there, too. A corner's supposed to drop back.
Yeah.
And he came all the way from his safety position, wide open. If he don't see him and get over there, that's a touchdown.
He did his job. 2nd and 10, 1:41 to go. Hinds has one timeout left. Nelson looking left has got Leslie out there. Leslie run out of bounds, fumbles, but the ball goes out of bounds at the 14-yard line. 1:32 to go. Coming in is Kenner Johnson to stop Quantavious Leslie.
Well, if they were to score, you can expect another onside
and the way
kick.
they kicked it before, nothing's set in stone here, even though there's 1:32 remaining. Hinds has a 3rd and 4 from the Gulf Coast 16. They're down by 13, 41-28. Nelson gives up the middle to Ragsdale, who is close to the first down, and Hinds will...
I believe he got the first down.
He got the first down, so the clock stops as they move the chains. 1:27 to go. Hinds has one timeout left.
Now, our defense has been on the field a long time here in this second half.
1:20 to go. Hinds not in any hurry as the clock runs down to 1:15. 1st and 10 from the 11. Now Nelson takes the snap, looking for somebody to throw to. Now has a man in the end zone, but it is
intercepted.
Incomplete. He was out of bounds. A terrific play by Finnest Armstrong. He saved a touchdown. Leslie was open for a moment. Armstrong closed. Watch this catch. His feet were out of bounds, but a great job. You see Kenner Johnson hanging. Look at that.
Wow, he was out of
bounds.
Yes, wow.
Great catch anyway. Doesn't count, doesn't matter. A terrific play by Armstrong. You saw Kenner Johnson there staying right in his zone, so Nelson couldn't run it. Nice job by the Bulldog defense. 2nd and 10 from the 11 for Hinds. 1:03 to go. Gulf Coast up 41-28. Nelson looking left again, nobody there. Looking right. Now he's rolling. Now he's in trouble and throws it into the end zone. And it is picked off by Josh Keys. Josh is going to take it out, and Josh has some running room all the way out to the 23-yard line. A flag comes in, a helmet comes off, and the Bulldogs salt this one away.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it right there.
The second turnover.
Well, our linemen are tired. They finally got to the quarterback. He throws it deep in the end zone. I mean, at the back of the end zone. I hadn't seen exactly where they threw the flag, and I know they're going to call it illegal block, but I didn't see it on replay. Can't see the whole field, but I'm sure it's going to be a block.
And now the band of gold and the crowd's feeling it as the chant starts. It is a penalty on the Bulldogs, but 47 seconds left. Hinds has one timeout to burn, and then after that, we'll be kneeling in the victory formation, I believe. 14th penalty. Yeesh. It's a little too close for comfort here in the second half, but you got to give Hinds credit. They could have shut it down. They could have shut it down. They didn't.
Wow.
And you got to give the Bulldogs credit for weathering the storm here in the second half. And now in the victory formation, Bulldogs will just kneel it and run that clock. Hinds will call their last timeout, I believe, or are they?
Our defense is absolutely exhausted. They're worn out. This is going to be an interesting deal with you talking to Coach Campbell for the show tomorrow night, which follows the scoreboard show on WLOX.
And yeah, Hinds is going to concede it. They got that last time out. They're not going to burn it, though, and that's going to be the last play here as Hatton kneels it in the victory formation. Seven seconds, 6, 5, and that's your last play. Well, at least it was an entertaining second half. We didn't have to talk about Nutria.
Wow, man, they came in, did to us in the second half what we did to them in the first.
But it was too little too late, and the Bulldogs hang on to win it, 41-28 over Hinds. Gulf Coast now 3-0 overall, 1-0 in the South Division. Hinds falls to 2-1 and 0-1. And now we'll go down to the field and check in with Jeff Shepard, who's going to track down Coach Campbell. Well, We had a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Some interesting things to say after this one, Bill.
Oh, you ain't kidding. We had a bunch of stuff to kill time. Instead, Hinds killed time the way they came back. That was just like that game last year. Just like it.
So we can save the second chapter of War and Peace for the trip to the summit, right?
That's right. Tolstoy never sounded so good.
That's right. I'm looking for Coach.
Let's see, I don't see him either.
You know, I mean, it's not that the Dogs, you know, let up. I just think Hinds came out and, you know, we talked a little bit at the half, Bill, about a team that has the ability to run up the middle.
Yep.
And that's what Hinds did in the second half.
And that opened it up. That opened it up for the pass, and they hit some quick ones and made this a very interesting game.
Until I guess maybe until the last touchdown really was about the only, you know, play action pass. But other than that.
Yeah. It was. The Bulldogs win it 41-28. To 3-0 on the season. Now here's what's tough. We've got those gold Bulldog Live jerseys, but Golf Coast is wearing gold too, so now you're lost out there.
Yeah, well, Coach is in white, so luckily.
Hey, that's easy.
All right,
Go
Coach
ahead.
Joining us now. That was an interesting second half, huh?
Very interesting second half. Coach Campbell made about as ignorant decisions some in the second half. But I learned a lot, and we haven't been in this situation a little bit. You know, we should have punted the ball when we were, but I said, well, we're going to get it, put it on the way, and defense bailed us out. So I knew I could count on the D to do that, and they came through.
Kids are always learning. Coaches are always learning too, right?
Always learning. As soon as you think you know it all, you get taught a lesson, and we got taught today. Last year we had these guys 28-0. They fought back, and we had to escape with our lives. This year we had them 34-0, and had to escape with our lives. Very proud of the way our guys played. Played tremendously hard, played tremendously well for a half, and then in the second half we probably put the brakes on too soon, and but we won the game. If you'd told me before the game that we were going to beat them by 13, I'd have took it.
Was it something they did in the second half, or was it y'all? They revved it up and y'all toned it
up, and they played a lot harder, and we, you know, we didn't come out with the same aggressiveness that we did, and the penalties hurt us in the second half. You know, offensively, the first drive we had a chance, and then the penalties took us out, and then, you know, hey, we won by 13. We beat the number 6 team in the country by 13. Good win. We got a young football team. Football team learned a lot today.
Now, what offensively?
Hey, Craig. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming.
Coach, saying hello to Craig Stevenson from the Mississippi Press. Be sure you can check that out tomorrow. It's a free plug for Craig. But, Coach, y'all really ran strong on the left side of the line tonight. Talk about that side over there.
Yeah, that's Lawrence Ramsey and Nick Proby's side over there, and those two warriors right there, two great football players, two warriors and big gains over on that left side. That's strong for us. You know, Ramsey Seller's strongest guy in the state and an academic All-American. So we're going to run behind Ramsey.
I like how you took my advice. You fed Byron James the same thing last week as you did this week. Because I mean, Coach, he's moving around like Barry Sanders back there.
Yeah, Byron's got great quickness, great feet, and you know, he really played well tonight. Very proud of the way he played. All the backs played good.
Last question. Let's assess the team. 3 weeks in, initial thoughts on what you've seen so far. Offensively, it's been a show.
It has. We got a lot of playmakers, and we got a chance to have a great football team. What we got to do is eliminate some mistakes. The penalty bug hurt us in the second half. You know, we had a couple of fidgets and you know, we got to get locked in and clean that stuff up. But really proud of the way that the guys played.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
41-28 from down here on the field, Bill. Coach is running over to go address the team. He mentioned it, you know, a lot of playmakers. He really hit on it last week. It is a young team. Obviously, it was junior colleges. It's freshmen, sophomores, so it's perpetually a young team.
Right.
But there are a lot of freshmen this year on the roster. So, you know, they're learning and growing. They're 3 games in. They're still trying to get, you know, their feet underneath them and see, you know, there's an expectation of how you play here.
Yeah.
And for 30 minutes, it was hit tonight.
Yeah.
The second half, it was there in pieces. And Hinds is a good team. They played like the 6th-ranked team in the country in the second half. In the first half, they didn't play like they deserved to be on the same field. So,
Yeah, we said it several times. They could have easily packed it in 34-0. All right, let's load up the bus and try next week. But they fought back strong and made this a very entertaining ball game.
No, absolutely. For the effort like that. I mean, you're right. They could have come out here and just coasted in the second half. But, you know, this is a team that could make the playoffs this year. So, all in all, as Coach said, you played 3 games, you got 3 wins. You've scored, 160 points or so in 3 games. So, you know, you're going to be a tough team to beat when you put numbers up like that, and so far they are a tough team to beat.
They certainly are. Okay, thanks, Shep. Appreciate it. We may hear you tomorrow night with Ocean Springs Picayune. We may hear me. Who knows?
You are on standby, but one thing for sure, the Picayune Maroon Tide, which may be the best team in the state of Mississippi, coming down to Hugh Pepper Field in Ocean Springs. You can hear that game right here on 103.1 FM WOSM. Tonight, it's the voice of the Bulldogs. Tomorrow night, it's the voice of the Greyhounds.
Exactly. Thanks, Shep. We'll see you later. Appreciate all your hard work down there on the field, Jeff Shepard. I was doing warming up my arm in the bullpen just in case.
I kind of noticed that. I saw that bullpen thing deal there.
Yeah.
A game of two halves.
Easily.
Game of 2 halves.
Mm-hmm.
The young players learned a lot. That is a team to be reckoned with. I say it, and I'll say it again. I think at the end of the season, this team is going to be somewhere around.
You may see them again here. You never know.
This game tonight.
Too much talent
here,
out there.
This game tonight here may be a lot bigger than what you think it is later in the season.
I was kind of thinking that
finding out what happened
before we started, and then I was thinking, well, you know, maybe not, and then again, maybe so. But you got to give them some credit. They could have shut it down. They didn't, and the Bulldogs win it 41-28. Whatever the case, they have now won 16 straight at home, and are 32-2 at home since 06, and 32-2 in the MACJC South Division since 07. So the streak at home remains alive for Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. They win it 41-28 over the Hinds Eagles. And a week from Saturday, we'll join you from Ellisville, Mississippi, where Gulf Coast will take on Jones in another MACJC South Division clash. That game starts, as we said, at 7, a week from Saturday, on Bulldog Live and also on 103.1 FM WOSM. Tomorrow night, you can join us on Bulldog Blitz. We'll recap all the big plays from this one, player profile with Byron Nettles, and much, much more. And as Shep and I told you about, Ocean Springs and Picayune right here on WOSM tomorrow night. That should be an entertaining game. As he said, Picayune's pretty good.
Must-win game for Ocean Springs.
And it is, you're right. Yeah, they had that setback against Pascagoula. So the Greyhounds trying to win one at home on the Hugh Pepper Field. But for A.L. May Memorial Stadium, from A.L. May Memorial Stadium, for Jeff Shepard on the sideline, all our Bulldog Live crew, and Jimmy Davis, I'm Bill Snyder. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. Once again, the final score, Gulf Coast 41, Hinds 28. We'll see you a week from Saturday. Everybody have a great night and a great weekend.